Also, what was that? My Pet Monster.
Well, those were cool.
Those are cool. I had a friend that had one of
And he
those.
came with the handcuffs.
Like the chain, the shackles,
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, we're on YouTube. Hey, guess we're talking about old toys. Are you
Oh,
surprised?
hello, YouTube. Oh, we're already live. Okay. Well, I have to tell you about. I'll tell you
Oh,
after we're on YouTube
wait.
about
Oh, man. I
what.
thought, I don't know.
No, I'll tell you after the show. Just remind me.
You're gonna forget. I'm gonna forget.
We'll go on live for a second then.
You can't.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
All right.
Is it important?
Well, I had a good
Uh,
good chat with someone,
okay.
and it's
Oh,
good.
man. Oh.
It's interesting but good. I'll tell you later.
Uh, what?
Uh,
Did you watch the new
um,
Strong Bad?
no, what? I mean,
There's
I
a
knew it was
new
coming, but I
there's
didn't
a
know
new
what actually
Homestar
happened.
Runner. There's this new song. It's a new
Oh
video. You
my
should watch it. Watch
gosh!
it right now.
I should watch it right this second. All right, can I watch it right now?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I did. I can tell you though. So we saw Jeff and Ebony and saw their new baby Ezra,
Mm-hmm.
and also Jeff and Ebony
That's
are
a boy's
thinking
name,
about the
right?
possibility of moving to Ukaipa.
What?
Yep.
You've worn down everybody.
No, I didn't even bring it up. That's the thing. We showed up and he's like, "Do you know how cheap it is to buy a house in Ukaipa?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I think we might do that." Like he like was showing me he's been looking at like real estate pages and checking it out and for the amount they could get for selling their current house, they could live in a mansion out here. Like he was looking like if they sold their current place, they have like a 3 bedroom, no, 4 bedroom or 3 or 4 bedroom, I can't remember. They out here they could live in a he look found like a 6 bedroom, 5 bathroom house on like 7 acres for the same price.
I should totally do that, and then we
Yeah.
can hang out
Well,
there.
what he wants to do though is like, down like get something comparable to what they do have, and then they would actually like have a lot of money left over.
No, you should
So
buy a mansion.
but yeah, I
Then it
mean
would be like in,
basically
and
he
then
said he wants
Jeff,
to outdo my orchard with his orchard, so
if Jeff had a mansion in Ukaipa, it would be like, it'd be awesome.
it would be like awesome.
No, I
But
was
I'm
trying to think
telling
of
you,
something.
I did not even have to bring that up.
I was trying to think of a movie. A guy had a mansion. What was that movie? Hold on.
Is it a strong bad email?
No,
Or
just click on. There's a new.
new
If you
number
click at
one?
the
Okay, I
top,
got it.
new number one song.
I got it. It's
There's
loading.
no new strong bad email. But there's.
Okay, I'll take what I can get.
It's pretty great. What was I thinking about? The guy with the mansion. Oh, yeah, like the guy in Garden State that had like the mansion and he's like shooting arrows and driving around in a golf cart. I feel like that would be what it would be like if Jeff had a mansion.
Yeah. Bulbous.
Cherry limeade brisk is delicious.
All the ladies and men's.
There's some hidden stuff.
Yeah, I found one.
Yeah, that's what I was doing before. 'Cause I was watching that, and then it got me like on a strong bad. I was listening to old Marzipan's answering machines because that was my
Oh
favorite thing.
gosh, yes. All the ladies
Like I
and
forgot,
men's.
I forgot how many of the Marzipan answering machine things I had like memorized.
All right, I think I got it. I think I found all the stuff.
Cool, pretty cool.
All the ladies and men's. All right, I'm back with you here. I'm back in the world of the show.
All right.
Homestar. Homsar.
Uh,
Oh,
that was my favorite things of Marzipan's answering machine, where it's just Homstar going. "Ah, ah, ah."
that's such a brilliant website. Those guys are hilarious.
Yeah, no.
Um, let's see. I feel like I had some other interesting something or other to tell you about. Um,
Trying to think
hmm.
about the logistics of my move, and it's like driving me crazy. It's gonna end up being
Oh,
expensive, no matter
yeah.
what I do.
The pod thing was pretty pricey
The
still.
pod thing is crazy expensive. There's a U-Haul one that's cheaper, but and then also like I think with pods you have to like leave it here for at least a day, and I don't think you can leave a pod here at my apartment complex. Like I don't know where I would leave it.
Were they gonna tow the pod when it's in the wrong spot?
Yeah, what if my pod gets towed and like all my stuff is like getting held hostage somewhere?
Well, I'm sure they have like if
So
you
like
talk
I
to
don't know,
the
I gotta figure
person.
that out. Part of me was like I almost thought about like just moving to Ukaipa and then living here 5 days a week, but like that would be way too expensive. Like I couldn't afford it.
Yeah,
And because I'm like, why don't I just move now? And I'm like, no, because then what if something happens?
yeah, that puts you in a tough spot.
But like, because like I'm gonna have to move the stuff and like pay to store it, and then like
When is
leave
your
the
lease
house
up again?
October 19th.
Oh, geez, that's coming up fast.
I know I got it. I'm packing up, but it's like I don't know. I hate packing. I hate moving.
Hey, speaking of moving and packing, I remember the other thing I was supposed to ask you about. We might come down to San Diego next weekend and go to
Um,
SeaWorld on Sunday. Is there any chance you would be up for recording Saturday next weekend?
I'm gonna
I got,
be at Knott's.
Oh, the whole weekend?
I'm gonna be a Knott's Saturday, and I'll come back on Sunday.
Hmm.
So I
Okay.
mean, we probably record on Monday.
Could do that, yeah. Well, I was just thinking
We can't
if
record
we
on Friday.
well, it depends on if, well,
What are you
maybe,
doing
I
on
don't know.
Friday? Are you coming down here?
Well, we might go down two
You're gonna be
nights.
here on
We
Friday.
go
Why don't
down
you
there,
just
we
come
could do it on
over?
Friday. Well, I guess if not, I can just record on Friday. I
Yeah,
just thought I could
Saturday
do
I'm
it in
gonna be
person.
up in. Well, that's what I'm saying. If you're here on Friday, why don't you come over?
Yeah. But if I'm not, we could just record like regular.
Yeah.
I was just thinking if you were going to be down there, we could do
Well,
Saturday.
I'm
So,
not gonna
but
be
you're not.
here on
So.
Saturday.
Well, that's cool. I didn't know that was going to be what we're going to do. So,
But if you guys are gonna be here
on Friday. Yeah.
but you're gonna be here on Sunday.
Yeah, we're for sure going to stay like Saturday night. Like, so we'll come down Saturday and Sunday. But it kind of depends on what kind of deal Janelle can find as far as hotel or whatever.
All right. Well, let me know. But either way,
So,
if you're gonna be here Sunday, maybe after you go to SeaWorld, we could have dinner somewhere. I don't know.
yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll at least do that for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm meeting up with Mike.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah.
That's good. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited.
You can hear all the firsthand account of the Colossus closure.
Yeah. And Knott's looks pretty cool this year.
Yeah.
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 Although I'm more excited for Universal.
Really? Why is that?
Universal's just more like I don't know, just like I like their mazes. The quality is better.
Okay.
Like quantity and overall, like well, I don't know, quantity wise, Knott's definitely, but like overall quality, Universal's like getting the edge.
That wasn't always the case, though, right?
Not really. I feel like Universal's definitely stepped up their game.
That's cool. Are you getting like the pass, or are you just gonna go for one night?
No, I'm just gonna go once because I don't really think I'll be able to go more than once.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna go more than once, you might as well get the pass
Yeah.
because it's like $75 and one ticket is $49. So
Right. So if you go more than once, it's worth it. Well, that's cool. Ooh, I just thought of something that I could add here. I'm gonna, I'm gonna adjust my mic for a sec. So sorry if this rumbles here. There we go. I kept bumping it with my hand where it was, so I wanted to fix that now.
cool. All right, are you ready?
I am ready.
All right.
Okay. Did you already like publish it or whatever?
Yep.
Okay.
Sunday
All right,
night,
let's.
maybe people are already.
Yeah, it's not that. What were you doing on Friday?
What?
What were you doing on Friday?
I wasn't feeling that great,
Oh, well, that's right. That's
and
cool.
I had just been like packing a bunch, and I was tired.
That's all right.
I had too much stuff, but I've got it down to where everything I have, I don't want to get rid of.
Well, all right. Ready to record?
I do have something for Josh.
What's that?
Some bunch of minifigs.
Like Legos?
Yes, a bunch of Lego minifigs. I'm gonna give to Josh Anderson because
Seems odd.
no, some D&D miniatures.
Oh, I gotcha. Um, all right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Record.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Radio BrendoMan. I'm Brendan Creasy.
And I'm Phil Vecchio.
What's going on, Phil?
Oh, it's a good evening here in the orchard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sunday night.
Sunday night, yep.
I was just telling you that I was busy with moving stuff and I was kind of tired on Friday.
Which is understandable. We're at the like
Packing.
countdown here until your lease is up.
Ugh. I hate packing. I hate moving.
And you still don't know exactly what you're going to do at the
I have.
moment.
I don't even know. I have no idea what's going on. I'm just kind of winging it, playing it by ear,
Figure it out as it comes.
which
Yeah, I
is a
mean,
little scary. I gotta get the moving thing. I got to get the logistics. I gotta actually call a moving place and be like, okay, here's what I want to do. What's the
see
easiest
what
way
they
to
can
do
handle
this?
cost. So your plan, though, in general, is once you've got your stuff somewhere, is to do the try to living in hotels type thing
Yeah, and I'm
until.
also not looking forward to that because like the cheap ones are like far away. Like I'd have to like
Yeah,
stay in La Mesa, which I guess it's temporary, and because of my hours, like the traffic's not gonna be bad.
that's
Like I'll still
true.
be able to get to work in like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
But
that's not too bad. Plus,
it's
someone will
only
make
it's
your bed for you.
temporary. Yeah, because I found one in La Mesa for $38,
Yeah, I mean
and
that's
that's a good deal. That's
pretty
cheaper than
good
what I'm paying in rent right
for your
now.
rent, right? Yeah,
Yeah, so I'll be saving some money.
and some people, people clean up after you. Is there breakfast included?
There's breakfast, internet, pre-parking, everything.
There you
That's
go.
what.
I mean, it's not a long-term solution, but it could be worse.
Yeah, and I guess I figure as long as I have internet, I got my laptop. I'll bring that, and I can do the podcast and stuff
Yeah.
that way.
Hopefully, it's like good enough internet.
Yeah. If it sucks, we'll have to figure something out.
Yeah.
Maybe I
Well,
can go someplace with. I guess I could just. I could record at work.
who are you
Go
talking to
to
there, Brendan?
go to the office and. Although I don't. Yeah, I have to figure that
Just
out.
do it at Starbucks. Be that guy.
Be that guy. Or is that a? Could you
I don't
imagine
know.
walking to Starbucks, some
You're a
dude's like
Starbucks
recording a podcast?
podcasting guy.
I guarantee you that exists.
Oh, it's Friday night again. He's
Hey,
back.
Starbucks.
Hey, that could be a good way to get some,
And
exposure.
you just randomly like, okay, today my guest is this guy sitting
Yeah.
right here.
Hey,
Hey, what do you
it's
got there?
Frappuccino guy
I
here.
see you got a tall. Is that a tall or is that a grande? What are you drinking there? Oh, you got a nice little croissant there.
You could add like cake pop corner where we talk about, what the
Who's
flavor
buying
of
the
cake
cake
pop is
pop?
that night. This could be good. This could be a whole different show.
$5 for a bite of cake. What's up with that?
We could also have like a special
The
feature, get to
barista
know
of
your
the week.
barista. Yeah. Oh, this could be good. I think I like it.
We just came up with an idea for a new show.
Plus, you could like each week you could title the episode based on how they write your name on your cup.
Yeah.
Brandon, Brandon.
Brondo.
That's a good
Brondon.
show. Brandon. Then you could get a Grande Brande.
Grande Brande.
Uh, speaking of like tangentially related, but we were watching a show this week, and a Cold War Kid song came on
Yeah.
the show. I can't remember what it was now.
Well, that happens a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
they're in movies and stuff.
It was very exciting. It's a new show. Oh, I know. Well, I guess we'll talk about it on our shows, but it was
Mhm.
the Red Band Society, I think it's called.
I have no idea what that is.
It's a new show. Anyway, it's just cool hearing. I was like, that's my roommate
Yeah.
on TV. So that was
The
fun.
creator of BrendoMan.
Yep. That's what made me think of it. The Grande Brande.
I've never seen Grande chips anywhere. Like
No.
it's probably like the ultimate generic. Of course, you would have the ultimate generic brand chips.
Yep. Well, of course.
Grande.
Do you remember the
chips.
chip people? Have we ever talked about the chips that we got? Maybe we have.
I don't know. I mean, I've talked with you about it, but I don't know if we talked about it on the show.
Well, just briefly, we through a friend of a friend, we were friends with these people who one of their jobs they had I think it was a trucking company or something.
Yeah.
And but part of they were delivery. That's what it was. They were like a delivery
guy.
company, and they delivered for Frito-Lay and other chip brands. and part of their job was taking the expired ones and cutting them open and destroying the bags, right? Like, so people didn't sell expired ones. But what they would do is collect the ones that weren't used. Instead of destroying them, they would give them away. And like, it first happened like they were giving them away to people at church and to like youth people and stuff. But after a while, they started giving me, because I was like a poor college kid, a bunch of stuff. So basically every couple of weeks I would get as many bags of chips as I could take. They would fill up the back of my truck or the back of my car with as many bags of chips. Yeah. And they were only like slightly expired.
And
so,
I just remember just always having tons of chips.
And we always got like the obscure kinds that they were like discontinuing too.
Like grande tortilla chips.
Yeah. So we there were times when like I didn't have money for groceries, and it would just be like stale bags of Cool Ranch or salsa verde chips.
Fat in college.
Yep.
Between that and all the free cheese sticks we got and all the other like.
But people would come by, oh, it's the chips. I mean, like, there was large numbers of people that lived off of those chips for a while, so it's a good thing we got them. So anyway, that's when I talk about the chips, so people know that's what we're talking about. Speaking of chips, we got some reader mail.
Okay.
That's good. That's a good transition there.
Yeah.
I do say so myself.
All right. Well, Mario says his favorite. We were talking about favorite moments because we have a contest.
Right.
Episode 150, so we're 11 episodes away.
Nice.
You still got some time.
A little bit of time there to get these in.
Oh, now I'm got belches from I drank a whole thing of brisk.
You got a brisk belch?
Well, it's half and half. They have these new half and half ones.
Okay.
They're like half iced tea, and this one's half iced tea, half cherry limeade. That's like my addiction.
Nice.
Cherry limeade is so good.
Yes, it is.
I like cherry limeade like anything.
Yeah.
Like my favorite is a cherry limeade from Sonic.
Sonic is the best, yeah.
It's delicious.
Making me thirsty.
This podcast is making me thirsty.
Making me thirsty.
So Mario says favorite moments was when Vacation from What ended up as the episode title. Tittle.
I believe he means title there.
And when Hobo Junction got a big laugh. Yay for me.
Yeah, he's always trying to get us in the chat there. So that's good. I know how that feels. It feels good to tell a good joke that people laugh at. But it also feels good to tell a good joke that people groan at. So either way, I'm okay with that.
All right. Craig from the Res. Hey, guys. Just got back from the LA Podcast Festival. It was frickin' amazeballs. I highly recommend people pay to watch the live stream archives when they are up, which they are up at lapodfest.com, I believe. If only to watch what is the funniest thing I've ever seen, which is Todd Glass realizing what kind of person Ash Williams was slowly. He's talking about Ash from Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2.
Right.
Like, when you really think about it, he's like one of the worst people in the world. Because, like, his all his friends died, and he's like, eh. And then he, like, went back there after all his friends died, and he took another girl there. It's like, what? What are you doing? In fact, he asked later if people knew. I said yes, I knew, and 3 other people who listened to the show that were there. Also, I am an invited guest on the show.
Cool.
That's awesome. And then he says, so far in the archives, you can hear me asking a question off camera at Who Charted at minute 41:10 of the stream. I'm on another show that is up, but would prefer not to say what. Sneaky.
Yeah.
If you want, I'll give a review. Okay.
Yes, we
want.
And
then he also, I'm going to be directing my Lindy sighting to Popsicle. So he saw Andrew Lindy, who is representing the Benview Network.
Nice. So he's got a Popsicle-specific question for that.
Yeah, and we already mentioned, because we already recorded Popsicles yesterday, so...
Okay.
We already went, but that I haven't put the episode up. But we recorded Popsicles. So.
Nice.
Thanks, Craig from the Res, and he says, P.S. I watched Saved by the Bell with April and Jimmy Pardo and 30 other people. Oh, I wish I had been there.
That's so awesome.
I could... What if I had like impressed April Richardson and like I don't know.
Could have been you.
And also, if her next show is about 90210 reboot, you owe me. He says you effing owe me. So I don't know. Maybe that means he asked her. Oh, dude, if April Richardson did a show about 90210, then I'd have to be. I feel like I'd have to be on
You
it.
would just like I think the universe would just force you to be there at that point.
I would just send her I would send her episodes of Popsicles, and they'd be like, "Here, look at what I did, and you should be on the show."
Yeah, definitely. Well, if that happens, like we at least need to do a letter writing campaign or something. Although I probably wouldn't need that. You could probably just email her and she'd be like, "Sure, that's cool."
I don't know. She gets a lot of emails. She's never responded to my emails. I don't
Oh,
know
you
if
have
that's
emails?
because they're weird or if because I became that guy that like emailed things and like I see you talked about this. Here's what. Because she was like, "That's not real," and I'm like, "No, this is real." And like, I sent those kind of emails, but I was really nice and I said how great the show was.
Well, it's possible also
But
that
she also
has
said that she gets like tons of emails because like the
Right.
show is super popular. It's reached 1 million downloads. I can't
so that type
imagine
of
how
thing
much
might be hard to
email.
respond to, you know.
Like I know how much email we get, and we've got like a fraction of that. Like if you had like a
Yeah.
giant, I can't imagine like the amount of correspondence that these people get.
Yeah.
And I'm sure also she gets a lot of weird, creepy stuff.
I'm sure,
I
yes.
can't imagine just being
We
like
get
a
much
girl.
less of that, which is nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so I forgot to mention too earlier, Mario. Did you see the video that Mario posted on my wall by any chance on Facebook?
No.
It's pretty funny. You should look at it. But he said something about that, like they stole the song from us. I'm assuming like you and me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure what that means. So Mario, if you want to clarify that at some point.
Video?
Well, yeah, like maybe like the song, like they stole the song from us or something. So I'm not sure exactly.
What song is in the video?
It's from. Oh, I have to go and look. It's pretty funny. It's probably not safe for work kind of thing, like lyrically wise. So just don't look at work, I guess. But let me see what he wrote. It's like Uncle something.
Little Dicky.
Little Dicky. There you go. It's pretty funny, but I don't know. Like I was looking for like a connection to
Maybe it was from
BrendoMan
like
All Stars or something.
or
I don't know.
when they
It's
were
pretty.
talking
It's
about
pretty funny though. So
we were talking
yeah,
about David Faustino. I don't know.
it could be. Yeah, oh yeah. See, there's so many things. So clarify that for me because I got a good chuckle out of that video there. So all right.
Who's Linda Evans and why is she criticizing like what is that comment about?
I will explain it to you and you'll immediately understand. It's my
what
mom.
happened to play and fantasy?
It's one of my mom's
Creative with
friends.
paper, crayons, and scissors, and he's like in a box. Like
I know. Yeah. So I posted a picture of Luke because he got for his birthday. One of the things he got from my parents was like this giant X-wing, which is super awesome, by the way. And so after we'd unpacked it, of course, he wanted to play with the box.
It's crazy
so
that he got a toy big enough that he can fit in the box.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge X-wing. He can barely lift the X-wing.
Yeah, we went to Farrell's. We haven't talked about this.
No, that's right. Well, I think
It was Luke's birthday. We went to Farrell's.
That's right, because we recorded before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was super fun. We had like a lot of ice cream and...
Too much ice cream.
Yeah, definitely. Like some of it melted away. I wish I could have some of that ice cream now. But yeah, it was cool. And so Luke got a bunch of cool stuff. I mean, I think we talked already about the present you gave him because you gave it to him beforehand. But
somebody commented on this of like him in the box, like what happened to play and fantasy?
Yeah, well, because he's big enough. It's big enough that he can fit in, and it has like a big plastic.
I almost was gonna like.
It's one of my mom's friends. It's not worth it. They don't.
But who does that? Like who comments on people?
I guess old people on Facebook.
Not to mention, like, if you knew your kids at all, you would know they're like the most imaginative kids.
Seriously, that's why he wanted to go in and pretend he was a toy.
Like an old lady troll is what this is.
Yeah, it is, and I just ignore it because it's not worth it. But it is kind of a comment killer because we had like a funny thing going. Yeah. Derek was commenting on it and stuff, and then someone writes something like that.
Someone writes something. This is the problem with the generations mixing on Facebook. Is like you could be having some fun thing, and then some old person's like, oh,
what happened when kids? The funny part is that same day,
kid playing in a box, and
that same day, he and Audrey did like a huge art project. They made stuff for Ebony and Jeff's new baby, and they drew pictures of the baby and wrote their names on it and stuff. Like they do that kind of stuff all the time. So That's like the
Nope, can't
last
have toys.
to accuse of
How
that.
dare
Yeah.
you have toys? Also, toys are part of. I mean, like that's the thing. Like toys are part of imagination. Also,
Right. That's what I mean. What did he do with the X-wing? He's running around the house pretending that he's Luke Skywalker and he's
like
flying.
I can maybe if it's like all your kid does is video games and there's like pictures of video games. That's just the dumb old people troll. Get off
Yeah,
my lawn.
yeah, it is. And
And it
plus,
totally
video games are
killed
fun
the
too. So
thread.
it is a comment killer, though. That's the worst. There's nothing worse than you got a good like stream of comments going, and then someone comes in and
Just
brr,
says,
brr, brr, and then it's done.
that's it.
Yeah. So there's a few. I mean, it's one of the downfalls of having parents and extended relatives on on your circle. My parents are thankfully cool about it, but they definitely have friends, and we have extended relatives that don't understand, or they'll comment something like that they think they're sending you a message kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like they don't understand this is a comment specific to whatever picture's on there, not like, oh, what time are we meeting up or whatever. And it's not like to my mom on a picture that I posted. Like, yeah, just because my mom liked it doesn't mean you're sending her a message when you write there in that little box. So, anyway, the more you know.
Old people, stop being old.
Or at least learn what you're doing on the internet first. That's all. That's all I want. Or don't openly criticize someone in public.
Phil's guide to being old on the internet. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like that's like when did it become okay to just criticize people?
I know.
That's the other thing about the internet. Like, oh,
Yeah.
you would never do that in real life.
Although to be fair, I've had my share of older folk that have been just that is one of the things I guess that some folks as they get older think that they have earned the right to just blatantly criticize.
Ugh.
Like I remember my grandpa had a girlfriend for a while, and which was weird enough as it was, but every time we'd see them she'd always comment on how fat I was and how, oh, you're gaining weight, or oh, you really should cut down on blah blah blah. I'm like, wow, I'm really excited to get to see you again, like, yeah, how are you? Oh, I see you haven't lost any weight
Why
since
I
last
don't
time.
visit.
Yeah, now you know. So, anyway.
You know what else? You know what doesn't? Oh man, I don't know what I'm doing with it. You know what doesn't tell you you're fat?
What does not tell you you're fat?
Stitcher doesn't tell you you're fat.
Yeah, in all the times I've used Stitcher, it has never commented on my weight.
What if it was just like, Phil, you're fat?
Yeah. Next time I go on there, hey, you want to listen to a podcast? You should lose some weight. Are you exercising while you're listening to this
terrible
episode?
business model.
The fat shaming podcast streaming app.
Well, you don't get fat shamed, so you don't have to
good.
worry about that.
That's
Go to
good.
radiobrendo.com, click the Stitcher link, and when you sign up for the app, it's free. When you sign up for an account, which again is free, you can sign up online or using the any of the apps. They got them for all your devices. Use the code BrendoMan when you sign up, and listen to all the Benview Network podcasts on Stitcher.
That's right.
All right.
That sounds like a dream come true.
It does.
It does.
What else is
All
a
of
dream
those
come true,
podcasts.
Phil?
Speaking of dreams, I had a dream that we had really good hosting for our website, and I woke up and it was true.
Yeah, because we use DreamHost.
That's right.
And you can too.
Make your hosting dreams come true.
Speaking of dreams, have you watched Tim and Eric's bedtime stories at all?
No, I have
You
not.
should go on the Adult Swim
You
website.
do that? Okay.
Oh my
Okay.
god, it's above and beyond. Like it's like they took it to the next level. Like I can't believe it.
Good. It's hard to believe there is a next
I didn't
level.
know there was another level, but they did. They really did.
So speaking of DreamHost, I
You
think
can
we
use
have
the
some sort of
code.
a
Yeah, we have a
arrangement.
promo. We have an arrangement.
Yeah.
Use the promo code RadioBrendoMan, and you will save $50 plus a free domain registration. Which means, let's say you use that code to get a free year of a hosting, which already comes with a free domain registration. Then you have 2 domains. Then you're already starting your web empire.
That's really good. That's a lot of domains. You can be
Yeah.
like Brendan and I and just collect them like baseball cards.
Yeah, you just got tons of them.
Yeah.
Speaking of
I'll-
that, I maybe during my unemployment phase I'll like relaunch WTF of the
yeah.
day.com.
Yeah, that's been a while.
There's so much weird stuff, and I guess I could be updating that. And
That's a good domain name too.
yeah,
Don't let that go to waste.
definitely. I just renewed webcomicsadvocates.com,
Good, good.
so got that going for us.
Yeah. I know we can revitalize a lot of this stuff here.
Even though we're not doing our panels, because conventions are dumb.
That's all right. It's just, we're in a slump, that's all.
A pretty big slump.
Just a panel slump, that's all. Not the other stuff.
We didn't do a panel at all this year.
Well, yeah, a 1 year slump. That's nothing.
It's sad.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure in sports that's like just a blip on the radar, right? They have a slump for 1 year and then they're like back in the
Long
game.
time to have a slump.
I don't know. I feel like
Feel like if you're
there's some sort of
if you're a
sports
sport
analogy here.
player and you have a year-long slump, like you don't have a job anymore.
A sport player.
Yeah, if you're a sport player.
Yeah. Like, in a sport. In
Yeah.
sports.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. We went out to lunch today with some friends, and like some of the people were talking about sports, and they're like, "Did you see the game or something?" And then I figured out because they said Royals, and I was like, "Oh, the Kansas City Royals." And they were like, "What? How did you know what that is?"
Yeah, how
Like,
did you
it's
know
just-
about that?
Because it came from my baseball card
Oh,
like collecting
yeah.
days, which we've talked about. Like how that's kind of a weird anomaly in my, behavior.
But if
But
you know Phil, it's not at all because that appeals to everything that Phil loves.
right.
It could have been like bug. It could be anything, but as long as there are cars you collect and there's stats
Yeah.
and
things you can complete your collection with.
checklists.
Trading and all that kind of stuff. So everyone was like teasing me about it, but I was like, the thing is, I know all of that stuff, but it's all from like the late 80s and early 90s. So if a team is moved or there's a new team, I have no idea where they're from. But
Yeah.
if it was like from back then, like I know. So apparently
Also-
that's still the same.
I remember they had a pitcher with a funny name. His name was Dan Quisenberry,
Quisenberry.
and he was really
Good.
good. So I had a bunch of Dan Quisenberry cards.
There you go.
Their two big players were Dan Quisenberry and George Brett.
George Brett.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, so I do have a small
that
amount
era.
of sports knowledge.
I mean, later on, you had like Bo Jackson. He was on the Royals.
Yeah, yeah. And I know Bo.
Remember like that? Yeah, because he was like that big. What was that, like 1990 score? Remember
Yeah,
Score.
yeah.
The 1990 score set was like 1,000 cards,
Mm-hmm.
and it had the card of Bo Jackson with the football pads holding the baseball bat.
Yep.
That was
Oh,
like-
yeah, that was like huge.
That was the hot card. And now I remember later on, like I think a couple years later, I bought a set of it for like $10.
Yeah. Again,
1,000
because-
cards at $10. That's a steal, right?
yeah, I mean, everybody had that. Everyone wanted that, and so there's plenty of them out there.
Yeah,
I bet you could get it for $5 right now.
probably. Well, oh my gosh, did I tell you about this store that Anthony and I found at the mall?
No.
So it's called Comics and Stuff. I think I've seen them, but this one, it was like, so it was at because basically we went on a little nostalgia trip, a Brendo reality tour,
Right.
and one of the things that I hadn't been to yet since I moved here was like the old mall I used to go to all the time.
Uh-huh.
And first I was really sad because they used to have this clock. The coolest part about this mall was they had this clock that was like a giant Rube Goldberg machine, and it had
Oh,
like
that's
pool
awesome.
balls that like went around and like made all these other cool little things, and they took it out to put like a
Oh.
carousel in it or something.
Well,
Stupid
something they can make money
Westfield. This
on.
is like when Westfield ruined every mall and they all look the same.
Yeah.
You notice like because of Westfield, like because there used to be malls that had like their own little like themes and character, like each
Uh-huh.
mall. But now every mall you go to, I feel like looks exactly the same.
Yeah, they have that carousel and the. Yeah.
So malls don't have character anymore.
Plus, at what point did you start going to malls and you have like the little kiosks in the middle of the aisle that like
Ugh,
shout at you to come over and look at their
I hate
stuff?
that.
It's like leaving. It's like when waiting in line to get out of get back into the United States from Mexico,
Yeah.
and everyone's like coming up to your
Everybody's
car, kind of
hawking
thing.
things at you and like,
Yeah, it's like
hey,
that,
hey,
except
try
at the
this.
mall.
Hey, look at
Buy my,
this.
buy
Hey,
my phone.
hey,
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I have a phone. I'm good. No, come over here. Check out this phone.
need this phone case. Hey, you need
Yeah,
this massage
yeah.
therapy. You need this skincare product.
Yeah, like I
Like,
will come
oh,
to you if I feel the need
no.
to try that.
So, but yeah, so that was a bummer. But then we found this store, and they had bought like several stores. So it was like huge, and it was called Comics and Stuff, and it was like a mini comic convention because they had every
Nice.
kind of thing, everything you could imagine: Star Wars toys, wrestling toys, like every kind of comic book, every kind of collectible. It was huge. We spent like an hour there just looking at all the stuff. It was crazy.
That is
But
cool.
they had what were we talking about?
Baseball cards, I
Oh,
think.
they had like base. Oh, they had old boxes of like they had like a bunch of like box sets, like the set boxes
Oh,
for
okay.
like dirt cheap. It was like they
Yeah.
had the section and it was just old like they had like Score and Upper Deck,
Remember how
like
you paid
everything.
$75 for these
Tops
back when they came
86.
out?
Like that was my first real like Tops 86. The ones it was the year before the wood ones. It was the ones that
Yeah.
just had like they were really cheap looking. They had like a black top with like the
Yeah.
team in all caps, and then it was like white, and then like the photo. But the 87 tops with the wood background, those were I really like those that wood
Yeah.
background.
I
Um,
have I think I have complete sets from like 86 to 91 or something.
no, those were the years, man.
Yeah.
So they had all of these, and they're like $5 a set.
Yep.
Some of them are even cheaper, and they have all kinds of other trading cards. They had this giant bin that was like full of Ziploc bags of like little like, and it was like every kind of trading card, every movie set, everything. I almost bought like a ton of stuff, and then I'm like, I don't need any of this. They had like Desert Storm cards,
Huh.
like packs, which those aren't worth anything anymore.
So here's the real question. Did they have any Crossing cards?
No, I looked. But they had that was like the one thing they were lacking was like actual video games, but they had like lots of video game related merchandise,
Well, that's cool.
like all kinds of Nintendo toys and other things, and like there's just so much random stuff in there. Like seriously, it was crazy, and like comics and other books and shirts and action figures, and it
I
was
gotta check this
nuts.
place out. It sounds cool.
Yeah, it was at Plaza El Camino Real. But
And we
like
have a
everything
new.
else. And then like so I was really so like I was like, ooh, we're on a roll. We found something cool here. That was like the only cool thing because then they had this arcade that was called Tilt, and I was like, ooh, that sounds
Oh,
like
that
a
sounds
cool name for
awesome.
yeah, sounds awesome. It was your typical arcade that had like that your typical current era arcade, which is
Right.
all ticket games.
Ticket machines
There
and
was
gun
like
shooters, right?
there was gun games and a couple rhythm games, and then like one racing game, and
Yep.
like asteroids or like there was a Pac-Man machine. It was not an arcade. It was
Yeah.
very disappointing. Huge letdown.
Well, on the cool new things coming to Ukaipa front, we there's a new, I mean, not quite in Ukaipa, but right outside in Redlands, they just opened a new record store.
Oh yeah?
Which, I mean, as of now, the closest record store was in like Riverside, so we're talking like a half an hour. I
Hmm.
haven't gotten to go into it because we just saw it like driving by and it was closed already. But
What's it called?
um, it's something vinyl in the name, but I can't remember now because we just saw it driving by.
Hmm.
But there's a new record store, and they just opened a Wingstop pretty close to us too. So
Nice.
yeah,
I haven't been to Wingstop in a while.
yeah, it's lots. I mean, we got everything. Everything you need is right here.
You already sold me, man. I'm pretty sure it's
I know.
happening.
No, I know. Well, I'm just after this weekend and hearing Jeff say that they might move out here. It was like this could be the greatest thing ever. Everyone will just move here.
Well, all it takes is a crazy burgeoning housing market to
That's
force
right.
everybody out of.
Yep. Well, I'm glad that we were able to lead the way and have everyone follow us out here. So,
Like I'm seriously gonna be paying half the rent
yeah,
I'm paying out for a bigger
yeah.
place.
That's again. I didn't even have to try to convince him. He completely came up with it on his own. So, I
Because it's
may have,
crazy cheap.
planted that seed
Well,
earlier, but
if you're buying a house,
yeah.
I
Oh yeah.
mean,
I mean, unless you have to be out there, there's definitely you can afford to actually buy a house out here.
yeah.
So pretty cool.
You know what else is pretty cool?
Yeah. What else?
Buying things on Amazon.
Yeah, it is. I love to buy stuff on Amazon. I
Yeah.
do it all the time.
I'm a little bummed. I'm not bummed at Amazon right now, but I had an Amazon incident. Because
Okay.
Amazon, they did their part. Okay, so I pre-ordered Smash Brothers,
Right.
but then my bank, like, they issued us new credit cards, like new debit cards, because they
Yeah.
upgraded their system or something, and like so my expiration date and my changed. So then I had to go in and update everything, and I thought I upgraded, because I had a bunch of like orders on Amazon. So I'm like, oh crap! Now I got to go through and like make sure all these payments.
Right.
And so I thought I did it, but I guess I didn't, because then on the day that they were supposed to ship Smash Bros, they're like, oh, your card didn't work, and I'm like, oh.
Uh,
So then I updated it, and it went from saying that I was going to get it on Friday to I was going to get it on Saturday. I'm like, oh, that's fine, whatever.
right.
And then Saturday comes, and so like I have it set to like it'll text me when like things are shipped and when they arrive,
Right.
and I got a notification saying it's been delivered, and I was like, oh okay, it must be at the office. And I went there like we haven't gotten anything from the post office today, so I'm like, where the heck is my game?
What?
And then I look on Amazon, they're like, well, sometimes they mark as delivered and they haven't been delivered. It can take up to 24 hours or whatever. And I'm like, ugh.
And then
And that
Sunday.
post office was closed.
Right.
But sometimes they have been delivering stuff on Sunday now, which is weird. So,
Yeah,
like,
occasionally we'll get something
but I
too.
didn't get anything today. But then, so I emailed Amazon, and right away, like within like an hour, they apologized. They gave me a $5 credit, and they said to let us know if it's not there by Monday, and they're really
That's
sorry.
cool.
So Amazon did their part.
Yeah,
Post
that's good
office was
customer
useless
service.
'cause I tried to call them at like 4 o'clock on a Saturday, and they were already closed. Like they had like
Yeah.
this line for like missing packages, and their hours were like stupid. And my apartment complex was like, "Well, we didn't get it." I'm like, "Are you sure?"
Yeah, right.
And
The manager's in there playing on it right now.
I was a little frustrated with that, but it wasn't Amazon's fault because
Yeah.
it was
Well,
partially my fault for the credit card thing, and then
right.
now it's in the post office hands, and so I hope it gets here on Monday. Otherwise, I don't know.
It's funny. We had a different but also credit card-ish type related Amazon incident this week. Again, not Amazon's fault.
Hey, did you ever
But
what happened with that Albertsons thing?
yeah, Janelle, we found out she had to wait till Monday to call, but someone somehow stole our not a credit card, but our checking like routing number and account number.
Oh,
So they were
jeez.
going around somehow like
But
writing
how would
checks.
you write checks with that? Like, do they
I
print their
don't
own
know.
check?
Like we still didn't quite understand how they were doing it. But basically, the bank was cool, immediately canceled all the, revoked all the fees and everything. But we had to go and like change our, everything we had, paid through there. We had to change the account number and blah, blah, blah. And one of the ones I forgot is that for my selling account on Amazon, I have it pay out to that bank account.
Oh,
I
yeah.
forgot to change it, and I had like a $50 payment coming to me, and I changed it and I did it like right as it was supposed to go through, but I think I did it too late, so we'll have to see. Tomorrow I'll contact him and see like what we need to do or whatever. But it was such a pain. Like I thought I was gonna have my $50 there for the weekend, and
But as Matt Myra pointed out, when things like this happen, this is how you can get out of some like so-called ironclad contracts, like gym
yeah,
memberships and other recurring billing things. This is
yeah,
how you can
that's
get out of
true.
them.
That is true because it's gone now. So, but
You just keep
again, that was
trying to
not
bill that,
their
buddy.
fault.
Keep trying.
Yeah. Um.
Because he's like, that's how I've gotten out of some gym memberships.
That's either that or move, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway,
Well, so on the good side of Amazon, you can use whenever you make purchases on Amazon. Before you do that, go to radiobrendo.com, click the Amazon link or the banner, and then make your normal purchases, and you'll be helping out the show.
absolutely.
I've only got a couple things, but one of these I wanted to bring up because people have asked before. Somebody bought a gift card,
Yeah,
and we get credit for that if you buy a gift card. So if you're buying
that's
Amazon
cool.
gift cards, go to us first.
And buy it through there. That's awesome.
Cause yeah, we got a credit percentage of the. We get 6%.
That's really nice. That's more than we get on some things.
Yeah.
That's cool.
The only purchase we had besides the gift card was somebody bought the cool. If I was still buying Blu-rays and things, I would totally be all over this. There's a
Yeah.
limited deluxe complete collection Halloween set. It's like $100.
What does it come with? Like,
All the Halloween movies, but it also comes with like they made like all new special features, and it comes
nice.
in like this awesome box with all this cool artwork, and it's pretty cool.
Sweet.
And a never before released director's cut of some of the movies, and yeah, it's pretty. It's like the complete, complete collection.
Well, that's a good time to get that right now, seeing as Halloween is coming up.
Yeah, that too.
So,
And
thank you guys for buying stuff through us, and keep doing that because it's awesome. And we will read out and honestly the stuff that you guys buy. So, it's cool.
it's pretty cool.
It's very cool. Very
What
cool.
else is going on, Phil?
Well, I got just a couple things in my little thing. Just a quick abatement notice update.
Oh yeah, what's going on with that? You pulled those
Well,
weeds?
we still have a little ways to go, but we got a lot of work done last week. But our neighbors who probably are irritated with us that we got it in the first place. She saw us out there like cleaning up, and she offered to let us use her trash can. Like you have like your yard waste can,
Yeah.
and ours was just about full, and we still had a long way to go. So she's like, oh here, you can use ours and fill that one up too. And it was nice, but you could also tell she was kind of irritated with us when she did it. But we got a lot done though, and we got filled up 2 whole cans.
Is that her way of saying you better do this?
Yeah, do it, because we were like almost done, and then she's like, "Here, fill this one up too."
Oh my god.
So it was a little less
Well,
gruff than that.
to be fair
but,
to them, like they are trying to sell their place, and your front
I
yard
know,
looks like
I
a
know.
freaking. It
We're
looks like a
it looks
hobo
much
lives
much
there.
better now.
Like if I didn't know, I would be like, "That's some like this guy just does not do anything."
Yeah, it looks a lot better. It's not done yet, but it looks a lot better now. So we're not those people anymore. We're just like those people. Yeah. So fear not. We're working on it.
And then you have
And then
Splash
also-
Mountain with an exclamation point.
Yes, well, just real quick, we on Luke's actual birthday on Tuesday, we went to Disneyland, and we
Mhm.
did another first-time ride for him. He got to go on Splash Mountain for the first time,
Oh, did he love it?
and oh my gosh, yes! It
Was
took
he
a little
freaking
convincing to get Audrey to go on it because she was kind of freaked out about the drop. But
Had she been on it before?
she has, but she like forgets that she's gone on him and gets all re-freaked out about it. And we're like, no, you liked it, it's fine. And so of course, once we go on it, she's like, oh, that wasn't that bad. And we're like, I know, it's like a big slide. But she was kind of little freaked out beforehand, but it went really well, and Luke absolutely loved it. And we also got to go on Haunted Mansion Holiday, which they'd gone on like when they were really little, but it was the first time that they like
Were
were
they
old enough
scared?
to know. And we were like, 'cause we had hesitated about taking him on Haunted Mansion because we want to like give him nightmares, but we're like, well, this one, it's like it's more fun and funny and stuff, and the way we like presented it. So here's a little tip: if you ever want to bring your kids on it, is we're like, this is a crazy ride. It mixes up Halloween and Christmas. Let's see how many Halloween and Christmas things are mixed up. And we're like, oh, that's funny. And so they spent the whole time spotting like funny mix-ups of Halloween and Christmas, and it was like a game, and then it was fun, and they didn't like get freaked out or anything. So
So they
it
had
went very
fun.
well. So yeah, they had fun.
That's good.
Yes. So I don't want them to like be too scared and not want to go on it anymore.
So it was cool, it was good this year.
It was good, yeah. The only thing is the biggest thing that they changed, and I don't know if we even went on it last year because I think we didn't have passes while they had it, but like when you're in the elevator, and you're going down, and the
Mhm.
big Jack face comes out, and instead of the hanging guy, and he says, "Oh,
Yeah.
Merry Christmas." They changed that whole thing, so there's now like a CGI animated segment that's up there. and
Ooh.
then like there's a CGI Jack that comes out, but his face doesn't take up the whole thing,
Hmm.
and we did not like that as much as the original one. But it didn't like ruin anything, but it was kind of cheesy. So I
Hmm.
don't know. I'm wondering if they get a response to that or not.
Was the
But
gingerbread house cool this year? I know
gingerbread
that.
house was great. Smelled
Oh,
really
it smells so
good.
good.
It had like a skeleton guy inside of it,
Nice.
and yeah, it
Yeah,
looked
that's one
cool.
of the things that's always different each year is a
Yeah,
different gingerbread house.
yeah. It has like doors that open and close, and when it opens up, there's like a skeleton guy inside.
That's
Oh no, I know what it
cool.
is. It's a skeleton gingerbread man. So it's like
Nice.
a gingerbread man, but he's got like a skeleton outline on it. So yeah, so it's pretty cool. So yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, good little quick Disneyland trip. We also got to meet up with some friends. Josh Anderson's wife, Rachel. We got to hang out with her and our friend Christy. They met us down there for a little bit, and that was fun. We went to Build-A-Bear,
Oh yeah.
which
Did you
that
build
was
a
like
bear?
that was kind of like our big thing we wanted to do for them. We got because they have a Spider-Man bear, and then they have like My
Ooh.
Little Ponies that you
So
can
it's like
do.
the kids' favorite things.
Yeah, well, we've never done it before, and it was really, really cool that they got to do it once. But if I can avoid it, I will never do it again. Have you ever done a Build-A-Bear?
No, it seemed like crazy expensive and
Okay, it is stupid expensive. First of all, they basically, in the end, they both got a stuffed animal, right? And it's cool and it's themed after what they like and blah blah blah. But just take a guess how much one Spider-Man
50
bear.
bucks.
How much did you say?
50 bucks.
No, more.
What? More?
For the two together, for a
That's
My
what I
Little
meant. 50
Pony,
bucks each.
they were $50 each. No, no, no. The grand total was $80 for the two.
$40
So
each?
$40 each, and including tax for
But I
what
mean,
amounts to a.
they get to build it, right?
Well, that's the thing. Like you would think, like, oh, the kids get to go and build it, but kind of only. So you go and you pick out like the outside. They call it the skin, which I think they could name it something else to not be so gross. But you pick out the skin that you want to fill.
Yeah.
So a My Little Pony or a Spider-Man one, and then you take it over
So is
to.
it a Spider-Man bear or is it just a
It's a
Spider-Man?
Spider-Man bear, and then there's a costume that goes on the outside also. So it's like a Spider-Man themed bear, but then you have to buy a separate costume that's actually the Spider-Man costume.
Man, they
So
get you.
that itself was like $15
Jeez.
just for the costume. So anyway, so then they take the skin and they take it over to the stuffing thing, and you hand it to the lady, and then the lady like does the stuffing, and the kid just steps on a pedal to make the stuffing come out.
Hmm.
So I mean, really, all they do is just stand there while the lady does it, and then they like sew it up. The lady sews it up, and then they do like a little ceremony or whatever. But basically, they don't actually do it. You get to dress them if you buy a costume, but they don't actually build it. The lady builds it for you.
So you're
So,
not even building the bear.
so you're not really even building it. It's watch someone build a bear. Is what it should be called.
Watch. Press a pedal
Yeah, press a pedal and watch someone build a bear. So that's what I'm calling it from now on.
for 40 bucks.
For $40 for a doll. Well, I mean, you can. I think the doll itself was like 30 or 30, maybe even like 25, but that's without a costume. It's just a plain old bear. So once you get a costume, it brings it up to like 50 or 40. I mean, so
But did they love it?
they did. They had a really good time. It was cool. But if I want to spend $80, I could get other really cool stuff and not have to go to Build-A-Bear to watch someone build a bear. So yeah, but they loved it and they like them. They're fun and they're cute. So blah blah blah. It was worth it. I'm just a crotchety old man now. So
Speaking of My
I
Little
can plan a
Pony,
little
did you
bit.
know that there was a My Little Pony movie released in theaters recently?
No,
'Cause it's
recently,
on the like it's like on it was out in theaters. It was playing at the theater I went to.
really?
Yeah.
How did I not know about that?
I don't know. Maybe it's like I don't know.
Like a special engagement kind of thing.
Let me look it up.
I don't know. All right,
I'm
find the My
pretty
Little Pony
sure.
movie.
Yeah, Equestria Girls Rainbow Rocks. It's out in theaters
What?
right now.
Oh my gosh, Audrey's birthday is coming up. We got to find
It
out where
might
this is
already be
playing.
gone by then, but it's not playing at that many theaters. It was released
Wow.
September 27th, 2014.
I cannot. Well, that's not too long ago.
MLPEG.com for showtimes.
ML. Yeah, because nothing comes up on Fandango near us here. My Little Pony What is it? MLP.
Equestria Girls Rainbow Rocks. So,
Interesting.
yeah, I'm just gonna say if you need some activity,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
because
Of
I
course, we
know
are gonna do the
Audrey loves My Little Pony.
yeah, and
Yeah,
we're
we're
gonna do
doing
the cupcake shop. So
Cupcake Shop.
um, so that'll be a good birthday party. But
Yeah,
this could be interesting.
yeah.
All right. Well,
Just thought I'd mention that.
no,
And
that's
also for all
definitely
you
good.
bronies out there,
Yeah, that's right.
for all our brony listeners, weirdos.
Oh yeah, there's one in San Bernardino and
Yeah.
Riverside. Oh my gosh, I gotta tell Janelle about this. This is good stuff.
Yeah, I was playing at the theater I went to. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay, okay,
What else do I got going on? Well, besides the moving stuff,
that's
although
pretty
moving's
big.
always fun because you find old things when you're going through stuff.
Yeah.
Still haven't found my Kindle Fire that I was supposed to give to you. I don't know where it is.
Hmm. I don't know.
I'll have to dig around.
Yeah, you gotta find
Hopefully, I'll find
that.
it. I did find something.
What's that?
I found my copy. I thought I had sold all my DS games, but I found one that somehow didn't get sold.
Okay.
And it was the Glory of Heracles, still in the box.
Oh, nice.
But I had already redeemed the Nintendo points. So I guess I took out the Nintendo points and then I never played the game.
That's
Well,
a
I
good
got it.
game though.
It was on Amazon because I think we both bought it. Because didn't you told me about it? I think one of us found out about it because it was like $6. Remember?
Yeah, it was like super cheap, but you got like the full value of points.
Yeah.
And then it turned out to be a fun game too. So
Yeah, I haven't played it yet. I remember when you were playing it. It's like a JRPG, right?
yeah, yeah, it's fairly linear, but it's really fun.
Cool.
How
Well,
come
yeah.
you
So
sold all your DS games though? You kind of brushed past this here. This is disturbing.
this happened a long time ago when I was like dirt poor.
Okay, I guess I can allow that.
I had a
For
really
food.
difficult period where like I was just having a rough time
Yeah,
and I had poorly managed my finances and my rent was really high here. It was like when I was first moving here and like I hadn't
right.
quite figured out my budget here and then like I went through a thing with like um medications and was having a rough time.
Yeah.
And so when I got all that sorted out, then I realized like, oh my gosh, I need money. And so I sold most of my DS games, almost all of them actually, and I sold all my Blu-rays, a bunch of my D&D stuff. Sold a lot of stuff, a lot of books.
Right.
So like a lot of stuff is just gone.
Well, it's less stuff for you to move now, so that's
But it
good.
was like DS games, like I didn't, and like at the time, and then even now, still, it's like I would still probably have not played a lot of those DS games. But there was ones that I bought that I had never, because there was a bunch that I bought that I had never played.
Oh, well, that's good. It's good that I know other things that you might need to have replaced for,
Well,
Christmas or birthdays or things like that.
yeah. So
You
and
still have
I
Animal Crossing though, right?
Wild World, no, I don't even have that.
Really?
It's all gone, man.
Well, it's all right. You can just get a Wii U now, and everything will be okay.
Well, I mean, and that's my plan. Is one of the when I get the severance.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of Nintendo, I found out something amazing this week.
What?
And for anyone out there, like, okay, so there's already Club Nintendo. You get points for redeeming games, and then you can get free stuff, right? But I was looking around for something. I can't remember why. I was trying to like log in and I was having a hard time logging in, so I was looking to see if anyone else was having trouble, and something popped up, and I didn't know this even existed. But there's like a program, like a rewards program for people who bought the deluxe system. Remember they had two. There was like the
Oh.
budget one and the deluxe one, and there's this a rewards program where you get bonus points for downloads you do through the eShop.
Hmm.
And for every like so ever many points you get actual dollars to add to your eShop account so you can buy more stuff. And I didn't even know it existed, but it's linked to your Club Nintendo account. And so I created a login and go in, and I had $5 sitting there for me from all the stuff I've downloaded, like just free $5 that I got to go spend. And
Nice.
then I went and used it in combination with some of the other money I had on there to buy my pre-order of the Mario Kart, and I got another $5.
Holy cow.
So I had like $10 of eShop
Holy,
money just sitting there that I
you're
didn't
able
even
to
know.
basically you got a good deal on the
Yeah,
deal. You got that
basically got
DLC?
it for free or almost.
Nice.
So yeah, so I have the like early bonus stuff, and then the actual DLC. First one comes out in November, so
What's the early bonus stuff?
you get a bunch of different colors of Shy Guys and Yoshis that you can use
That's
right
cool.
away. So yeah, just a little like, tide you over until the actual stuff comes out. But 16 new tracks and a bunch of new characters and stuff for
Yeah, I mean, I
$11.99.
would totally. I love Mario Kart. I'm gonna be all over that.
Oh yeah,
After I get my PS4 and my WWE 2K15 when it comes out next month, I'm super excited for that.
that's the next. Yes, yes.
So speaking of WWE 2K15, they finally released both the real gameplay trailer and then like some more details, and
Yeah.
it's basically the wrestling game I've been waiting for my entire life. Because here's why.
Okay.
Anybody that's played 2K games, they have like this My Career mode for like their basketball game stuff where you
Right.
create a guy and you like start him up. So they have that for the WWE where you start off as a wrestler in the developmental where like it's called NXT and like you start off
Okay.
as a nobody and like it's a created guy. So I make my BrendoMan guy, right? And then I start off and basically the way you would and then you develop your character like based on your actions because like it'll ask you like who do you want to team up with it'll present you with these things and based on your actions in those you develop your character whether or not you're going to be a good guy or a bad guy and like opportunities change based on that like it's super dynamic
Huh.
and then also and this is the thing the way you advance, it's not just like whether you win or lose the match. This is like they've kind of done things like this before, but never like it's never been perfected. But it sounds like it is in this one, where it's based on how well you perform. Like you can still lose, but you can get a bunch of advancement points because it's about how good of a match. Like if it's exciting, the length of the match, if it goes back and forth. Like you can do better by losing but having a good match than just by beating somebody using the same moves over and over in 2 minutes. And like it
That's
actually
cool.
like it bases it on your actual performance, like real wrestling.
Right. That's how.
And like you develop your character. It sounds I'm so excited. Like I'm so
So we're gonna like
excited.
lose you for a little while here.
Oh yes.
When does that come out so I can plan on
Well,
our
they
calendar?
pushed back the PS4 Xbox One release to like middle of November.
Okay. So we won't lose you
And
at least until then.
like Sting's in it, and I'm super excited about that.
Is his special move like a music based or?
Yeah, he starts singing, he pulls
Oh,
out a bass,
that's good.
and he hits you with it,
He smacks you with the bass.
and then he says, "Don't stand so close to me." That's his finishing move.
That's it. Yeah.
All right, book
And then
corner.
he does promos. He says, "I got a message in a bottle for you."
And then he just And
All
he
right.
says, everything I do is magic. All right, so book corner. I finished
corner.
McDonald Hall. I'm done.
Yeah, you finished both of them. I see.
Because I had them. I had the second one of the something fishy already. So
Yeah.
as soon as I finished McDonald Hall, and then I seriously finished something fishy in like a day.
Yeah, I think it's like the shortest one.
Plus, it was really good, and I really wanted to know how they were going to end it, and I was very pleased.
What's first of all, McDonald Hall Goes Hollywood. Any final thoughts on that?
It was awesome. I really liked it. I liked the story where it went.
Yeah.
And like their whole like die in the woods trip.
The tie in the woods.
And
It's
like
great.
and it was just really entertaining and now I want to know more. Like I want more McDonald Hall books. Like I would love to like because it seemed like he was almost setting up like a next generation thing with something
Right, with
fishy.
his little brother coming in and
Yeah,
stuff.
and then that was 95. So like I don't know if he ever has plans to, like I want to know
Yeah,
what's going on at McDonald Hall. Like
because it has been, yeah, it's been a long time, and he's written so much in between now and then. You never know.
I'm
But
sure he gets letters all the time.
oh, I'm sure. But like current, if you think about it, he wrote the last one in '95, right?
Yeah,
So that means that a kid who was born the year that he wrote the last one
yeah.
is now like turning, is going to be turning 20. So the whole
They're gonna have to
generation of
go
kids who
by
are
the whole
reading books
timeline.
now,
Yeah,
yeah, well, but what I mean is the kids who are reading them now have no like history
yeah.
with that at all. The people who care about it are like, would be
But I
my
would
age
also love
now.
to know what like Bruno and Boots are up to, like as
Yeah.
grown-ups. That'd be kind
Well, the one like hopeful thing is that they did re-release them and do those updated versions in fairly recent
that
years.
was
So
seemed to be a while ago.
yeah, well, I mean, the most recent one I had was from like 5 years ago or something.
Yeah.
So at least they're like on the radar of things that are still worth doing something with. So I don't know. I haven't finished something fishy yet, but I've read a good chunk of it, and it's really funny. I love the little brother stuff. Also, right near the beginning, I don't know if you caught this, but Miss Scrimmage, like so the kids sneak in there,
Yeah.
and she doesn't know that it's them, but she attacks them with like her bowl of cream of wheat.
Yeah.
Like throws it at him, and so when she goes over to talk to Mr. Sturgeon and like get mad at him like she always does, she says you need to find who did this and whoever it was that I threw my cream of wheat at, and he says my cream of wheat detector is out of order right now.
I
He
did not.
referred to his cream of wheat detector.
That's awesome.
So yeah, he's got a detector too, or at least a detector joke.
I think
So, so yeah,
so.
those have been fun.
I'm still making my way through World According to Garp. I'm making huge progress in Console Wars. That it's an amazing book, and it also like you have to read it because it explains a lot of things to like it makes sense now like how Nintendo got to where they are now, especially with like in relation to third party like
Right.
because it's basically like talks about like how like I think like it's some like you can see why third party and retailers eventually like revolted against Nintendo because for so many years they controlled everything
Right.
and their policies are just so nuts.
Well, like the Nintendo seal of quality, like
Yeah,
their
and just
what
the
content's
way
allowed to be in
yeah,
there.
and like the way they controlled everything, like down to like the distribution, how many games were ordered, and
Right.
like Nintendo's control of everything. But then again, as the author does point out, they did have their reasoning because they were their biggest fear was another video game crash. Like, but I
Right.
think they took it to an insane level to
Yeah.
where they were being investigated by the government for monopolistic practices
Right.
and all this other stuff. But then like Sega, like some of the stuff they did to try and like bust Nintendo is nuts. Did you know that Sega was responsible for that whole Tengen thing?
No, really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Well, the author, they were definitely so basically the author was able to find out that for sure Sega funded Tengen the whole time they were like in a lawsuit. Like the
Huh.
only reason why Tengen didn't immediately go out of business because that lawsuit lasted for years
Right.
is because Sega was under the table paying everything, like their
Paying for all
law
the legal
fees.
fees and
Yeah,
stuff.
because they knew
Wow.
how much it was dragging Nintendo. So they were basically like, oh yeah, so they did that. Then they went into business with Tengen. But the other thing, he couldn't quite prove it, but he definitely says like he basically says that it seems almost sure that Sega was responsible because the whole big thing was Tengen was able to reverse engineer
Right.
Nintendo so they could make their own cartridges because there was a lockout chip, so third-party developers couldn't just make whatever cartridges they wanted.
Right.
But Tengen had reverse engineered that, and it never came to light how they did that. But this book basically is like it was Sega, like Sega reverse
Sega
engineered,
did it.
but all through Tengen, like
Huh.
and so and I
That's
remember all that.
crazy.
That's so because some of those 10-gen carts, like the 10-gen Tetris, I know is worth like a ton of money.
Right, because they had 2 player on the NES, whereas
Yeah,
the
because
official one
a
only had
bunch of
one
them
player.
got recalled and all this other stuff.
Also, Super Sprint was
Yeah,
like a great one. That was one of the ones we had. Um, it was like one of my favorite racing games on the
and
NES.
Super Sprint was awesome. But it's just crazy, like the levels that they went to, like
Huh.
because it was like a total war, and like some of their tactics and like the marketing, it's nuts. And also the things that could have been, like it talks about how Nintendo basically went behind Sony's back and
Uh-huh.
signed their deal with Philips, which in hindsight is like, what were they thinking? But it
Yeah.
was all because they didn't want to give more control to Sony. They had to be in control, and with the Sony deal, they weren't going to be in complete control, and so that's why they signed the deal with Philips because they would. And that just to me, like you read that now and you're like, oh man, like
Can you
imagine
imagine if Nintendo
what they had
was,
gone through with the CD, with
yeah,
with the Nintendo PlayStation. Like that's exactly, it was going to be the
yep,
Nintendo PlayStation. Like,
it
and
would
that's
be a different
crazy.
world.
All because of their crazy, just like they had to have complete control. So they went and signed this deal with Philips, which resulted in some of the worst games ever
Oh
being.
gosh. The Nintendo Wands of Gameleon or
Yeah,
something.
and all
All
that
the Zelda
stuff.
ones.
Like, oh, and it just seems so like crazy. And
Yeah.
also, like, there was just some other things that, like, they just dropped. Like, when they're talking about the history of Sega, Sega was about to buy Atari, and then Atari designed the 2600. They're like, oh, we don't need you. They were about to sign the deal, and then they backed out. Could you
Wow.
imagine that? So that's a whole other, like, what if
What
scenario.
if, yeah, that is crazy. The funniest part of all that is that now Sega makes games like almost exclusively for Nintendo stuff now.
Yeah. But it's also like but like reading about Nintendo's relationships with retailers and especially the third party, like it explains a lot, like as
Yeah.
far as the current situation that they're in.
Well, I definitely need to read this because this is the one that they're adapting into a movie
They're
too, right?
adapting into a feature-length movie and a documentary.
And a document. Yeah, so I need to get my hands on this for sure.
It's really good. Like if you, especially growing up in that time period, it's super.
Hmm.
It also reminds you of all the cool. Like it was truly like the greatest time to be into video
Oh
games.
yeah.
It also makes me want to, because I never had a Sega, and just reading about like some of the games and the quality, like, because like, oh man,
Yeah.
I kind of want to play a Sega now.
Well, same with. I mean, I always had Nintendo, but looking back at it, I mean, if it helps, Josh or anyone else feel better too. Like I've always argued with people that Nintendo was the best. But that being said, there was a lot of fun Sega games that we
Yeah.
never played just
Well,
because.
also, from a pure technical standpoint, Genesis was by far better. But again, I think that in the long run, for me, like the games are what
Yeah,
made.
yeah. Um, but I think we've mentioned this before. Back then, like you didn't have the option of having
Yeah,
both.
well, and also and it clearly says that like like vast majority of people, and it wasn't. I mean, from a pure like financial standpoint, yeah, you couldn't. But even if you could, most people didn't because you chose a side. Like
Right,
that was
right.
just how it was.
Yeah, you were a Nintendo or you were Sega. There was no both. I
Like
felt guilty when I would go over to a friend's house and play Sega.
yeah, you're like, oh, this is weird. Like I remember
Yeah,
one of my best friends had a Genesis, and I was like, I would go over and play it because I like, I love, and I
yeah,
was like, ooh, but it felt kind of weird. Like I'm like, oh, I'm on
yeah.
enemy
What is this
territory
controller
here.
thing I'm
Yeah.
holding? Yeah,
So
that's
like there is a lot of Sega games I've never played. Like I've only played like one Sonic game.
well. It's funny. Again, the ones that I have played are now ones I've played that they re-released on various Nintendo consoles over the years. So
Well, yeah, especially now with the Virtual Console and all
yeah,
that
I've
stuff.
played quite a few. At least to a certain degree. Not tons, but I've gotten to try out a few.
Yeah. So that's pretty awesome. And then I'm still reading Jam. It's very entertaining. It's basically again about, it's a post-apocalyptic world because the world has been covered in
Right,
jam that like eats people. It's kind of like the Blob.
right.
And It's pretty entertaining.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, again, we already talked about McDonald Hall. That's what I've got going. But if you guys want to join our book club, we're about to start a new series soon. I got to update the thing now since you're
Yeah.
finished.
What's our next?
The next series is going to be The Great Brain. And
What's the first book? I'm gonna.
the first
order
book is just called The Great Brain by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Not F. Scott
F.
Fitzgerald.
Scott Fitzgerald. I'm like, what? What are you doing, Phil? Are you like my English teacher?
Yeah, yes. It's The Great Brain. After he wrote
Great Gatsby.
after he wrote The Great
He
Gatsby,
went into a career of.
yeah, he did a YA. He tried his hand at YA. No, the last name is Fitzgerald, but I can't remember the first name now. It's not F. Scott though, but it's by Fitzgerald. It's called The Great Brain.
Okay.
That's funny. I'll update the book club so that you can find it easy too. But yeah, this is our series of 8, and so once we read this, we'll cycle back to 1 and go through them all again.
Man, 8 books.
So 8 books in a row. And now this is another one too, where like I've read the first probably 6 books, but I've never read the last 2 that were written a little bit later. So
Cool.
this will be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. I haven't read these in a while, but this is another of my favorite series as a kid, so should be good. I haven't steered you wrong yet, right?
Right.
So I think you'll like these. It'll be good. These are pretty quick reads too, so even though it's 8 books, it shouldn't take us like forever. So.
And you can be all part of that by going to radiobrendo.com, clicking the book club.
That's right. Join our Goodreads club because it's cool like that.
All right, so guess what time it is, Phil?
It's time
This
for
is for Matthew.
what's
New
that?
movies.
New movies. Wait, you skipped one thing real quick.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, it's okay. Just really quick,
I did skip something. I'm sorry, Phil.
one final band to our Blue Christmas lineup, which is very exciting. And I have to apologize because I gave Josh a hard time on the last episode and said like, oh, they're not going to do it because they never got back to me and blah blah blah. But Josh Anderson, friend of the show, and his wife have a band called A Plus B, and they're super cool. Amongst other things, they have some video game themed songs, which are really, really cool. Like they have one about an obscure character from Super Mario Brothers 3, or amongst other things, or an obscure item, I should say. And
Which item?
The Kuribo shoe.
The Kuribo shoe. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they have a song about that, and
That's
it's really
awesome.
great. So, and they have other video game related stuff and other fun things. So, they played last year, but we didn't know if if it was just a one-time thing. But I confirmed with Rachel when we were at Disneyland that they will be playing again this year. So, that's kind of the last band added to our lineup. But we got a really sweet lineup this year, so I'm very, very excited about that. So, yeah, that was it.
Exciting.
Woo!
Woo.
All right, now new movies.
New movies. Oh, well, also, speaking of Josh, I wanted to give quick thing that's in the works. The fundraising page isn't up yet, but Extra Damage, we're going to be part of the 2014 Extra Life fundraiser. We'll be talking about it more later on because that's going to be October 25th.
Yes, and both Brendo and I will be participating.
We'll be part of the 24-hour video game stream on extradamage.com. So once that's up, so you can pledge money to Extra Life, and we'll be raising money for kids, for like children's hospitals and stuff.
Yep.
And so there'll be more details coming, but we will be on that stream, and we'll let you know when exactly what times.
Yeah.
But you can come on there. It'll be fun. I'm sure Josh is going to make me play Five Nights at Freddy's, and you can watch me just screaming like a girl.
If you want to see Brendo freak out, this is a good chance to do it.
Freak out, I guarantee you.
Yeah, it's
But
last year we
doing
did
it
it.
for
It
the
was really,
kids.
really fun. Good cause, and you should definitely check that out.
So it should be exciting.
It's October 25th to the 26th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be on there in the late hours of the 25th, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that. We don't have the exact schedule just yet, but
Yeah, but it's in the planning stages. But that's coming up. So
Yeah.
definitely get in on that.
Fun.
But new movies.
New movies. We both saw a new movie.
Yeah, I just saw it today.
Yeah, me too.
I saw Boyhood.
What'd you think?
It's like the best movie I've ever seen in my life.
Isn't it amazing?
It's so amazing, and it just so many things. I could go on forever. Like I was almost gonna make like a list of like things. Like first of all, like Richard Linklater deserves every award ever
Yeah, I mean,
because
he has to
it's
win at least some
it's
stuff this
such.
year.
Plus, like that was such a gamble. Like, but
Oh
it's
yeah,
such a
so many things
cool.
could have gone
That's
wrong.
such a cool idea that he came up with it and he just did it on like. And this was all while he's making tons of movies. Like this was the span
Right.
of what, like 12 years.
12 years. And what if like that kid had grown up to be like super ugly or a terrible actor or something like that?
Or
Like
like a hoodlum,
or yeah, or I mean
or he
heaven
just is like,
forbid
I don't want to do
died or
this anymore.
yeah, oh yeah, forget you. Yeah. Or if he died or if any of the main people had died or you
Yeah,
know or yeah, it's just I mean,
and like Patricia Arquette and Ethan Hawke are amazing,
yeah.
and Richard Linklater is on the tear because I also a while ago I watched Before Midnight.
Mhm.
And I don't know if you've seen any of those movies, but they're
I saw the first
amazing.
two ones, yeah.
Well, so it's a great. Oh, it's so good. Well, anyways, Boyhood. But yeah, so I'm just saying he's on a tear lately.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
next movie he's already said is going to be a spiritual successor to Dazed and Confused. So I'm just like, because like Dazed and Confused is like one of my favorite movies, and so he's just, oh my god. But Boyhood, I'm sure everybody's heard about it, but if you don't, he filmed it over 12 years. It's like basically, and it's just like the life of this kid growing up, and and it so the soundtrack like each era starts like it change like you can tell when it changes a year because it's
Mhm.
like a new song from that era, and so the soundtrack is just an amazing, like it's amazing. It's like the last
Yeah.
12 years in music, and
I'll
that's how
tell
you
you
know
what it
when it
like
is. Like, and it's like
kind of
all
reminded me.
spectrum.
Yeah, yeah, because it's not just. I mean, it was very
Some
much like the
cool indie
real
rock
music
song.
of then.
Yeah, like it'll be like a Blink 182 song or like,
Right.
yeah,
The feeling I got watching it kind of reminded me of watching like the 21 and up, 7 Up movies. You know, like just that cool
well, it made me
feeling
want
of
to
like
watch those because it's,
yeah, like seeing him grow and change throughout the years, and it. I mean, it felt so real.
yeah, and like it's so real, and like it's crazy when you find out that like, because I assume that was his sister. It's not. It's Richard Linklater's daughter.
It's his daughter, right? Right.
Yeah. And like she's really at the kids, and like you see all these kids as they grow up. Like
Right.
it's
Well, and I love too that the storyline is like it's a real story. It's
yeah,
not like a neat Hollywood ending type thing. It's complicated characters. There's not like a villain. I mean, there's maybe one person that turns out to be pretty much all bad, but for the most part, they're really complicated characters that like
yeah,
there's not just like I expected. I mean, I don't think this is too much of a spoiler, but I expected going into it that Ethan Hawke was going to be the deadbeat dad and he just was a terrible guy, but
yeah. But that's not the case.
it's not the case. You get to see what a complex character he is and how he grows and changes, and I don't know, like it blew me away. I just thought it was great. So
Yeah, it was so good. Like I love it, and it just reminded me also of things in my life, like
hmm
the moving around, and then like the whole excitement of going to college.
yeah,
And one of the quotes that just stuck with me because when they're in Austin, because he wants to go to UT in Austin, and he's like, just imagine a year from now, this is gonna be our lives, and we're gonna be staying out all night, going to shows, and I was like, yes, like, that
yeah,
was college, like, and then I'm like, we did that. That was our college, and then
yep,
like I had a pretty good college. It made me think about like how great of a college experience that I
yeah,
did have,
yeah.
and even though I didn't get the best grades and stuff, like we lived a full, like no regrets
Oh,
on the college life
absolutely.
front.
It was an experience like you could not have anywhere else in any other time of your
Like
life.
you could
So
get away with staying out all night and going to shows.
right.
'Cause that's exactly what we did, and like we'd go to multiple shows,
Oh yeah, it was
and
just it was a great time. I can't imagine. I mean, I realize that college is not for everyone, but I feel like that experience like helped to define me as an
Yeah,
adult, you
and it's
know?
not even really the education part of it for me. It
Right.
was more just because like that's where I'm like, okay, so yeah, you probably like even though the statistics are saying you need a degree in order to like succeed, which is pretty true, but it also there's exception to everything. But just that experience of being out on your own
Yeah.
and making poor decisions, making good decisions, making whatever decisions, but making your own that so like when I see these people where they like just still live at home or they I mean and or they're going to like I don't know, I feel like that whole getting out on your own thing
Yeah. Well, because you're
and
out,
having
you're
the
on your own, but
freedom
you still have just enough of a buffer that, like,
you can
you know,
totally
you
screw
have,
up with.
there's the cafeteria you can go eat food at the end of the day or whatever, like, you're not going to starve to death, but you basically can make whatever decisions you want and deal with the consequences, but also, enjoy that freedom. It's great.
So if any of our young listeners out there, I'm not saying like don't go to like don't study, don't get good grades, but also don't miss out if you're going to college on the other opportunities besides school because
Right.
there's so much more. Like
Yeah.
again, because like I think about the friends that I made, like you and Janelle and Jeff and everybody else, and like
Right.
we are still like those are the friendships that will last your entire life, and
Absolutely.
just the experiences. They're like the experiences you'll be talking about on a podcast in your 30s,
Yep.
like things that you did when you were 18, 19, 20.
Yeah.
And it's not that like will things will never get better than that, but it's just it's a very unique time.
Yeah. They will never be the same as that.
Yeah, like that is a very unique time in your life, and make the most of it.
Yeah.
And just having the freedom to screw up is like without having any major consequences. Like
Right.
it really you learn a lot, and like and like I don't know. It's when I think about and that's what got me like super nostalgic but also just emotional watching this movie because it reminded me of me at that age, and then like thinking about college and then and then it got me thinking because I remember talking to you about like because he's trying to decide where he wants to go to school and he
Hmm.
kind of because it seems like he's going to go to Austin but then like he breaks up with his girlfriend and all this stuff so he ends up kind of making his own decision and
Right.
going away, not away but still farther away than
More
he is.
away. Right.
and and I think about like what if like that's such a key time in your life where the decisions you make do affect the rest of your life,
Right.
because I think about some of the decisions I made like how I came like this close to going to Azusa Pacific instead of Biola and like I think about that everything would have been different like what and then I think about what that life like
Right.
what is that Brendo doing right now like that because like I had this whole experience. I think I talked about it on the show where I went to a visit at an APU and I met this group of people and we
Uh-huh.
hung out the whole time we were there and it was like oh this is gonna be my group of friends here and like we're gonna be best friends and then like I ended up not going to APU and I never saw those people again.
Right.
But
But
like on
somewhere in another
some
universe.
there's that's my bizarro, like there was probably a Phil, there was a type, you know, and like that's
Yeah.
so crazy that like there's a
You're
whole
doing a
other life.
podcast with Jim and
But it's
it's
just weird that like just like those decisions that like that I feel like there's a few times in your life where the decisions you make will drastically affect your life. Most of
yeah.
the time, they'll affect you in small ways, the decisions you make. But there's a few times in our life where it's like the giant
Yeah.
decisions and it stresses you out. I know I bugged out a little bit my senior year of high school
Yeah. Oh,
because of that.
me too.
Like I kind of freaked out and I had like this that was my super I don't know if you want to call it rebellious period, but I did bug out for a while as just like wow, my whole life is like what is happening and where am I going to go? And everything that I knew, like my comfortable life here is over.
Yeah,
High
it's time
school's
to get
over,
serious.
and I freaked out. And there were some other things that caused like I don't know. I've never really talked about this, but it reminded like some of the things that happened in this movie reminded me like of like conversations that every teenage boy has.
Okay.
Like when you the first time you talk to other boys about sex.
Yeah.
Like just that whole conversation, those conversations, and like I remember one of the times that I really freaked out was because like I grew up like I was not grew up but like at the time I was in youth group and like I was very religious and so I remember having like one day this was I think it was in between like we was either in between junior and senior year no it was like senior year and was about to be over
Okay.
so and I was talking to all my friends and somehow I just discovered that everybody was like having sex.
Yeah, that's a weird moment when you realize that's going on, right?
Yes, and like and like that because that moment when he realizes that, like when you kind of when he's getting that when you're that conversation, and it reminded me of that, and when I found out about that, like I freaked out like completely because it kind of because I just assumed that everybody was like me, and also these were all people that like a lot of these people like I went to youth group with and stuff.
Right.
And so when I'm like, wow, is everybody else just like doing whatever they want to do? And why am I doing this if everybody else is like, are we just all full of crap? And like, and then I'm like, what's the point of anything? And I had this total existential crisis, and I like bugged out. Like I seriously bugged out. Like I think like that was like when I immediately just started smoking because I'm like, well, I can, well, if they can do that, then I could do this, and like just being trying to be because I couldn't because I wasn't gonna have sex because that
Right.
wasn't
So
even an
you
option.
had to rebel somehow.
So, but it just really freaked me out.
Yeah,
Like,
it's that. I mean, I had it's funny because we've talked about some, but we had good experiences and bad. Like junior high was really bad, but I really liked high school. But
yeah,
I would, if I had like like genie type wishes and you could relive one part of your life again, I'd probably do college again. But I would never pick high school or junior high again, even though I really enjoyed high school a lot
yeah,
in a lot of ways. But gosh,
I loved
I
high
wouldn't want to
school.
go.
Like the
Yeah, I did
last two
too.
years of high school were awesome. The first 2 years were all right too, but then college like is just so much better.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, for sure. And you don't. It's hard to see that when you're like on the other side of it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And
I
plus,
mean,
because
I'll
you
never
hear it all the
forget.
time as a kid, oh, it gets like, and that doesn't help you at all.
Right.
Like, like, I know what people mean well with the whole it gets better thing and all that, but I'm like, when you're 16, like, when you hear somebody, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
No moment at all.
like it doesn't help you. Like, oh, things still suck. I'm
Yeah.
still 16,
Yep.
but like and that's what this movie kind of brought all that and then but again the music was amazing and
Hmm.
it just brought me back and just little things like when they go to like the Harry Potter midnight like book release thing and I
Uh-huh.
like
And it follows like each one. Yeah, they go to each one of them as they.
yeah just things like that and like and then the thing at the end that just caught me out of nowhere was um Patricia Arquette that last when he's leaving for college and she just breaks down
Yeah.
and I remember when my mom did that and that whole thing like you got to walk out that door and then I think about and then it kind of put me on the other side like thinking about Patricia Arquette and it made me think about my mom a lot like it really
Yeah.
this whole movie made me think about my mom and I think about like her all the sacrifices that she made as a single mom and and then at the end of it like you do like I can't imagine what that must have been like
Right.
when like your kids go away and then what do you have and
Yeah.
now it kind of put me in this place of like oh wow like that's how exactly what my mom was feeling Like when I mean, when and then like when she took me to college, and then when my brother left, and then what's and then when you've spent your entire life like you're basically your life is this other life, these other lives, and that's
Right. And now
all.
they're not anymore.
And then what do you do? And now I'm like, wow, my mom basically like is I should be thanking my mom every
Yeah.
day.
Call your mother.
And because I remember like, and so I'm like, wow, my mom did a whole lot for me, and
Mm.
that whole thing was just, oh my god, I was crying.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know too for Janelle, like a lot of the divorce stuff, like as a kid, like
Oh
dealing with
yeah,
like that really impacted her too. Like that was very because again, they're just such real characters that you feel like you're going through it with them.
yeah,
And it was like she was reliving a lot of what that was like,
yeah. Like
seeing the parents fight and
yeah, that part really hit me. The thing that was also weird was, so like when the mom gets remarried and stuff,
uh-huh.
that was like my worst nightmare after my dad died, was like that situation, and I was convinced it was going to happen.
Right.
And I'm like, my mom's going to marry somebody horrible, and I'm going to be in this situation. And so that was like watching these nightmares come to play. That
Right.
luckily, and for me, like that never happened. I mean, but I also kind of wish my sometimes I wish my mom had remarried, at least for her sake. But then
Right.
maybe, but then I think her same fear was that something like that would happen. She marry some jerk,
Yeah.
because
Well, and you see, I mean, Janelle's mom had her own like journey that she went on that like,
yeah,
I mean, a little different than what happened there, but that same kind of thing. It's not there's not like an easy again, there's not an easy answer to any of it. It's not there's no like one right thing or, perfect
yeah,
ending.
and and then also it just like, man, it really captured that whole thing, like what divorce and all that stuff does to kids,
Yeah.
and but also that like a good can come out of those things,
Yeah.
and and I don't know, it's just crazy that you can watch these characters age and evolve and change in like real life, like I mean, and that's just that you couldn't that that makes this movie completely unique,
Absolutely.
and if you haven't seen it, you have to see it. It's amazing. I loved it so much. I could talk about it all night. It was so good, and it just reminded me. It's like when there's things that you can relate to, like you kind of grasp onto those things, and that's what makes me love movies and pop culture.
Hmm.
When they really hit, like, oh my gosh, they hit so hard, and those are the things that I long for, and that's why I love movies. It's the type of movie that reminds me why I love movies.
Yep. Oh yeah. And like you said, I sincerely hope that he gets at least something for awards wise this year because like that
Yeah,
it's an achievement. I mean, directing at the least, because I don't think it could ever be done again in the same way, obviously. So it was amazing, and I can't believe I got to see it before you did.
yeah. I'm a little lax at going to the movies these days.
I know, but we got to go to the movies today too.
Yeah.
It's been a while since there's been, like a kid-friendly movie that we could take our kids to, because
Hmm.
the second that one comes out, we like to jump at it. So, we went and saw the Box Trolls today,
Oh yeah. How was that?
and it was really good. From the people that did Paranorman and
Have you seen
Coraline.
Paranorman, by the way?
I still have not seen
It's on
Paranorman.
Netflix.
It's
Paranorman is
definitely on
amazing.
YouTube. Yeah, because this
Paranorman
movie
is
also is amazing,
incredible.
and
So you
you
said,
know,
sorry, what was that? You said it was
oh, I
amazing?
just because yeah, I need to see it now because this movie also was amazing. And it was, I mean, visually, of course, just looks incredible. The animation is stellar, but it was really funny and like so weird, like just
Hmm.
so bizarre. Like the basic storyline, I guess you could explain, but just the way that it's done is just bizarre, and I loved it. I mean, like, just really weird sense of humor, and fortunately, a lot of the innuendo they got away with, I think, went over our kids' heads, but. Uh, there's a couple moments I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope this is not the part they decided to keep repeating over and over again. but no, it was really really good. Eric Idle from Monty Python wrote one of the songs, and there's quite a few Monty Python nods in it.
Awesome.
You got Nick Frost. I mean, not Nick Frost. Simon Pegg and and Nick Frost,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Simon Pegg and Nick Frost did voices. Tracy Morgan and Ben Kingsley, and like just an incredible cast, and it was really really good.
Kids like it?
So, and the kids loved it. Oh my gosh! In fact, like they came back home and they had that box, that Luke posed in earlier
Mm-hmm.
for the picture, and they were like playing box trolls in the box, like pretending to be trolls, and yeah, they ate it up. So it was really good. Incidentally, we got the kids like a little like combo, thing. They get popcorn and a drink and a little like candy and stuff. And Audrey proceeded to completely dump hers out on accident. Like the entire soda, like unfortunately it was pretty small, but like dumped all over the floor, the whole popcorn all out. So that was pretty awesome.
That's where they're like, I can't buy you anything.
Well, to be fair, they're like so little, and those chairs like pop up automatically.
Mm-hmm.
So she like has it on her lap, and then she's sitting there, and all of a sudden the chair like pops up and knocks the whole thing up out of her hand. So it wasn't her fault, but I was like, I just spent so much money on all that. But oh well.
Yeah.
We'll survive. So yeah, it was really good. I would recommend it, especially if you are a fan of animation type stuff. It was really cool.
All right, so on the DVD on demand corner, I've
Yes.
been watching some more WWE Network, of course.
Shocker.
Interesting. So I'm at this period of Monday Nitro where it was during the so I had to look up why this was, but basically why this wheels anyways. So during the 1996 Summer Games,
Okay.
because all of Turner's satellite trucks were in use for the Summer Games, they filmed during the Olympics. They did Monday Nitro. They had to do it local to the studio because
Okay.
they couldn't use satellite trucks to beam the signal.
Huh.
So they had to do it at the studio where they did everything, which just happened to be MGM Studios, and they did Monday Nitro right in front of the main entrance to MGM Studios, which logistically I'm like, that's crazy that they did this.
Right.
It's
Wow.
right in front of the entrance to the theme park, and there's like people coming going, and then like and it's just it's a very unique vibe because it's like outside, and you could tell that the wrestlers like sometimes like that probably sucked.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
can you imagine wrestling outside in July in Florida, even
No,
at night? Like,
I had a hard time walking around outside in July in Florida.
it
let
especially
alone
looks
wrestling.
horrible because some of the bigger wrestlers, like, it's more just like you can tell they're sweating.
Oh gosh. I mean, you don't even have to sweat. It's just like the air is wet.
Yeah.
Like, you have to move.
Like, I can't imagine. And they're wrestling. Like, and the other thing that's crazy is, so it's on the cement there, right outside
Right.
the entrance. It's like in the entrance plaza, and all they've got is this mat around the ring, and then it's cement. I can't tell you how many times you see these guys land to the cement, and then you can tell like, ooh, that guy, he's not feeling good right now because
Yeah.
they'll lie down for a little bit. You're like, ooh, because like that's cement. I'm sorry,
Right.
like.
You can claim wrestling is fake all you want, but they're still hitting real ground.
You do a body slam on a cement, like that's gonna hurt.
Right.
So you could tell sometimes like they're trying very hard to land on the mat, but sometimes they don't, and then you can tell like, ooh,
Yeah.
like,
Man.
so that's crazy. But just like, yeah, they're just outside, and then like one of the episodes, like the fireworks show is happening like during the match.
Wow.
It's just really weird. Like, that would have been crazy if I had gone to MGM Studios and, like, WCW Monday Nitro was right outside. Like, that would have been nuts.
That is really crazy. Just walking
And, like,
by.
they're interviewing guys. Like, there's a time when they're doing an interview with, like, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. As you can tell, it's, like, the like, closing, so it's, like, exit. There's like a river of people going by, and all these tourists are just talking about like, what's going on? There's so many shots of like people going on to camera when they're not supposed to be there.
Right.
It's really funny. That's one of my that's one of the things about live television that makes
Oh
it
yeah.
great is you never know when something's gonna happen. Like there's so many times where like either a production guy or just some random person just walks right onto camera and then it's like, oh, and then like leaves, like runs out of frame. Just stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's been entertaining to watch. Because at first I'm like, why are they doing this? This just seems. And then I looked online. It was like, oh, it's because they couldn't use the satellite trucks because they were all in use for the 1996 Olympics, which were in Atlanta, which is Turner's
That's right.
home base. So I guess they were renting out their satellite trucks.
Speaking of Olympics, did you hear like the thing going down where like no one wants to host the Olympics anymore?
Well, because it's like a huge financial drain, and
Yeah, so it's only like oppressive regimes that want to have it hosted anymore. That's kind of interesting. We may never ever have the Olympics in the United States again.
Yeah, it's weird.
Anyway.
And then I've been watching Bob's Burgers on Hulu because the fourth season is not on Netflix yet, but it's on Hulu Plus.
Oh, okay.
That was last year's, so because this year I think it actually starts. Fifth season starts tonight.
Right.
But the fourth season, only seasons 1 through 3 are on Netflix, and fourth season's on Hulu Plus. So I've been watching that, and it's amazing. Oh my gosh, that show is probably my favorite show right now.
We just won a free month of Hulu Plus, so maybe we'll have to catch up and watch that.
You should watch because the season there's some such good episodes. Oh my gosh.
And do you know how we won that?
How?
Because it's Monopoly season at McDonald's.
Oh yeah, I've already got some pieces. I've already gotten I haven't put any codes in. Is that how you get like the?
That's
Hulu
how.
Plus?
Yeah, we've gotten a
Is
bunch
that how you
of
get red
boxes
box?
and that.
Well,
yeah,
I need to get some red boxes.
Although there are instant win red boxes too, and actually instant win Hulu things too, because we've gotten one of those too.
Because I've got an instant win breakfast sandwich.
Yeah.
And instant win medium fries.
Yeah, we've gotten quarter pounders and some like ice cream.
I'm already seeing some dumb Facebook posts where someone's like, "If you got Waterworks,
yeah, let's pool our account." Oh, every year.
And then you realize, and then when people are like, "I'll keep my eye on," I'm like, "No, don't do that."
Yeah, why would you do that? Stupid. Or like
people understand how the game.
Every year too, like I look at Yahoo usually to get my news updates. There's always an article of someone saying, "Shocking!" Like, did you know there's only a certain number of ones pointed out, and you really only need these ones? Like, no one ever figured that out.
How the contest works.
Yeah, duh. Really? So they're not going to give out tons of $1 million prizes out there.
Yeah,
how do people not get that? Yeah,
I don't understand. Every year,
every year, people are like all scandalized that that's how it works.
And then they're like, and I'm like, I feel bad that somebody. It's like, oh yeah, I need electric company. I'm like, I have 50 electric companies.
Yeah.
If you
I mean, like, if you got Boardwalk and don't have Park Place, you can now afford to go just keep buying burgers until you get one. Yeah. Like, there's no need. Yeah, there's absolutely no need to do that.
Don't.
So,
don't. Yeah. When your sister thought she had the game.
Yes. Although, if you guys do find a Boardwalk, I have Park Place, so please let me know, and I'd be happy to combine with you.
And then your sister could be like, wait, I think I had Boardwalk. Oh, wait, no, we didn't. Remember when your family thought they won $1 million?
Yeah, that was great. Oh, wait, no, it's not.
No, wait, no.
No.
So that always happens. What do you got going on?
Well, let's see. We've been watching through Fringe still. It's really good and creepy, but fun. Speaking of live TV, I've been watching a lot of What's My Line still, and I watched a couple of episodes this week where random people from the audience like walk up onto the stage and do stuff. Like I started speaking out the episodes where weird stuff happens in it, and it's live TV, so like they have to get security to come drag them off. Both cases, well, one of them was totally a crazy person, and I went and read up about it, and apparently the guy who did it, like, he comes up and just starts talking about, I made it for Mother's Day. I can't believe I finally made it. You can tell, just nuts.
Like the soy bomb guy. Remember that guy?
Yeah. Well, this was like decades before him. Yeah. He was a copycat,
But I just think it's funny that there's been a long history of these things.
Yeah. And there's another one where a guy comes on and starts like trying to promote his whatever business it is, like, oh, come on down to blah blah blah, and he just like starts going into sales pitch, and the guys like run out and grab him, but he gets in a little, and someone cuts the mic before he gets too far, but you can actually catch what place he's advertising. So, yeah, that was probably just a desperate attempt. That'd be like you and me going and like, oh, listen to Radio BrendoMan, radio. So that's been fun. I'm still utterly obsessed with that show. And I think I mentioned earlier we watched the pilot and the second episode of this new show called Red Band
on
Society.
The Amazon?
No, I think it's we watched it on Hulu. I can't remember what channel it's like actually on. It might be a Hulu show. I don't know. My brother Matthew introduced it to us because it takes place.
Fox.
It's on Fox.
It's a comedy drama
in a children's ward at like a children's hospital.
Okay.
So it's like terminal patients, but it's like a comedy drama. It was really good. My brother being a nurse and nursing major, I think was even more into it, and so he introduced it to us, and it was fun watching with him because he'd like tell us real stories about when he worked at a place like that. So we had like a bonus thing, but it was fun.
Phil, I got some bad news.
Oh, what?
It's already on like the top of the it's going to be canceled lists.
Oh, really? Aw.
Yeah.
That's really good. What? People don't want to laugh about cancer?
I guess not.
I guess that's kind of a comedy killer, huh?
Yeah.
It was good though. I want to like find out more that happens. Hopefully they'll make a few more. And then we watched. Well, I did watch this on Hulu, so it counts. But the Chris Pratt Saturday Night Live. Did you watch any of that?
Yes, I watched the whole thing.
Oh my gosh, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I can't wait to watch the Sarah Silverman one. I got it on.
Yeah, I also that's up next. But that Marvel trailer for like upcoming like Marvel movies.
That was really funny.
That was if you guys haven't watched it, just look up the Chris Pratt Marvel trailer.
That was pretty great. What's that lady? The writer lady that's on Weekend Update, and then she was in like another thing. What's
Cecily.
No.
Cecily Strong.
No, she's not a cast member. She's just a writer.
Oh, okay.
I don't know her name. She's the one that she got up and what was she doing? Well, anyways, I really like Weekend Update. I liked everything.
Yeah.
It was really funny. And
That
Cecily
new guy
Strong
on
could bring.
Weekend Update.
Yeah, and then this meant I was waiting for this because I'm like, well, so I'm bummed that Cecily Strong's not on, but now she can bring back the girl that you avoided talking to at the party.
Right.
And she was so funny.
It sounds. I mean, it's kind of hard to like filtering through, but it sounds like it was somewhat maybe of a mutual decision.
Yeah.
Like I think maybe it was stressful or she didn't like doing it or something.
Yeah, I was
because
reading
she's still on the
her.
show.
She's talking about it.
Yeah. Because she's really awesome. I think she did a great job hosting it for when she did. So
yeah, the new guy was good.
Yeah,
and yeah, it was
the
really
Lion-O and He-Man sketch was really funny.
Mom,
I like that one a lot.
Mom, what's this, Mom?
So
Danny.
yeah, it was really good.
Danny, what's this? I like cake. I like cake, Danny. Oh, dude.
Yeah. It still drives me nuts when like you watch it and then you look at like comments.
Sketch, like I get what they were trying to do, but I feel like it didn't quite work out.
Which one is the sitcom one?
Where it was like this weird, like it was like trying to be like some sitcom where it was like the kids and like it was like the bad kids came over and.
Oh, okay. I think because of the way I watched it, like I might have skipped that one, or I don't know. I feel like I didn't see that one. But sometimes they cut out sketches on like different things, so I wonder if it was like cut out on what I watched.
What'd you watch? Where'd you watch it?
I don't know. I think it was on Hulu. I thought,
but on Hulu.
But maybe not, because there's like different places to play it. So I don't know. Maybe I missed it.
It was really awkward.
Okay, well, good. Maybe I didn't miss. Maybe I just watched one where someone edited all the bad ones out, and I just saw the good stuff.
Maybe you did.
Maybe. But yeah, that was good. Anyone who like does the classic like, oh, Saturday Night Live's not funny like it used to be,
People
blah
have
blah
been
blah.
saying
It's not
that
actually
since the second season, so
right. Like you just need to
people have
watch it.
been
It's
saying
funny.
that forever. I
Not
never
every sketch
understand
is
that.
perfect, but yeah,
It's just the nature of the show. People have
it's
been
whatever.
saying every criticism that people say about SNL has been used every other season.
Right.
It's
And
just
there's always going to be funny sketches and not as good ones, but like it's a great cast right now. I think they've been doing a good job.
yeah.
So there. All right, Netflix corner.
Netflix corner. So my routine when I'm packing boxes is I watch Best of Raw and SmackDown on Netflix because I can get Netflix on the TV in my room, so I'll turn that on and then I'll pack boxes. So it's been cool reliving the best moments of last year. Been some good moments.
All right.
So that was
So when you're
exciting.
not watching wrestling on the network, you're watching wrestling on Netflix.
Yeah, and when I'm not watching on Netflix, I'm watching on Hulu. So most
Well,
wrestling
okay.
ever.
So then on to my Netflix corner. After we watched the my deal was with Matthew, I would watch a nursing show with him, if then he would watch Children's Hospital with me.
Children's
So
Hospital is amazing.
it is. Well, he just hadn't heard of it. It wasn't like a tough deal to
Is that
strike or
what you know?
anything.
Oh, of course, it's Matthew we're talking about.
Yes, it was. It was, but it was really fun. He'd never seen it, and so it was like the other one is funny, but like dramedy. So it was fun to go from that to like just outright like absurd, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So we watched a few episodes of that until he fell asleep.
Oh, you liked it?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's great and very bizarre, and Rob Corddry is really funny. So,
Oh yeah,
and I
it's a
think
great
I've
show.
said this before on either our show or maybe on Pillage Cast, but for some reason, um, Josh Anderson really reminds me of Rob Corddry or vice versa or something. Like not so much like looks, but like just their humor and delivery of jokes and stuff. I don't know. I think that's a compliment. I mean it as a compliment, so I hope that is taken that way. But some of his like humor just really like strikes me as like Josh-esque. So
I could see that.
take that as you will. Yeah, just I don't know. Every time I see like something with him in it, though, I think like, oh, it totally reminds me of Josh. So I don't know. I don't know why that is, but there you go. That's my Netflix corner.
All right, so moving on to video games.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I wish I could talk about Super Smash Brothers, but I didn't actually get it.
All
Next week.
right.
But I've been playing more WWE Supercard. I've been playing more Fire Emblem.
Yeah, how's that?
It's awesome.
Did you get
I
to the
got
point where you can do Street Pass
yeah
now?
yeah I did. What are all these like bonus stuff? Like what are these for?
What do you
Like I
mean
got all
bonus
these
stuff?
characters in like a bonus box.
Yeah, well, okay. I'm trying to remember how it works.
Like is that for like multiplayer battles or something?
Well, I
Because
think
it
though you
says
can.
like you can add guys to your team, and I'm like, what team? Don't understand.
Well, yeah, you set up a team, and like if we tag, then your team will come and like I can fight your team,
Okay.
and I can get stuff from them. But it's been long enough since I've done the tag part. I can't remember exactly how it works. I have to go back and look at it.
Yeah, I didn't really get into it that much, but because I'm still playing, I'm playing on the single player, and it's a lot of
Yeah,
fun. And haven't had anybody die yet, so that's good.
that's good.
And my character is cool.
And you're doing it on like the easier one or like the
Yeah,
classic?
not the
What are you
classic.
doing? Okay. Okay.
So when people die, they come back to life.
Right. That's the
Um,
I did the the classic
you're
version because that's
crazy
how
because you are even crazier where you don't let anybody die.
yeah. Oh yeah, I make it even
You
harder
have
than you have for the
permadeath, but you
classic
make
mode.
it so that if somebody dies, you start the whole battle
Yep.
over.
Yep. I do not allow it. So yeah,
That'd be
I
very
make it even
frustrating.
harder.
And then I'm still playing Tomodachi Life. Got a new
Sweet.
costume for October. Pretty cool. And
Very
then
cool.
on the mobile games front, like for when I'm at work, playing a lot of mobile games. I finished Magazine Mogul. I
Okay.
got everything you could get. Like I unlocked everything, and I'm the highest. So then I moved on to another Kairosoft game. It's called Epic Astro Story, and it is awesome. So it's where you basically you're it's like it's like all the character names are Star Trek parodies, which is fun.
Okay.
And you have like a team of guys, and you're populating this planet, and then you also go on exploration missions, and on the planet, then also to other planets, and it's a multi-tiered, like kind of like sim game. It's a lot of
Huh.
fun.
That's cool.
It's a lot bigger than their other games, so I've been having a lot of fun with that. And then I just forgot that I bought a game because it was on sale, but I haven't played
Okay.
it yet. I already redeemed the Nintendo points, though, so you know where my priorities are.
What was it?
I got Zelda Link Between Worlds. 'Cause
Yeah.
it was
Oh,
on
it's so
sale on
good.
Amazon.
So good.
Yeah. Well, I
You're
mean, I
gonna
played
love
it
it.
the one time at Comic-Con,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
now I
it's
can play
really
it all the time. But I don't know how much I'm going to be able to play it because, like, I've got that, and then I've got Smash Brothers coming, and I don't know, we'll
yeah.
see. A lot of video
Well, it's
games.
good.
Too many
Good.
video
It's
games.
a good problem to have.
What do you got going on? Same old?
Well, I updated on my Disney Magical World, which I have been also obsessed with. I'm
Mm-hmm.
at 99
Oh, man.
stickers.
Which one did you get?
I made a special wand finally.
Oh, nice.
So I got
So
like
you finally got it, the special
got the
party?
medal from the cafe, and then I got to go make the wand.
Now you're
And
just waiting on that sunflower.
I'm just yeah, that's I gotta. I'm basically right now. I'm trying to get as many seeds as I can so that I can just
Yeah,
go
that's kind of
nuts
what
and
you
start
do, and then
planting
you
it.
just go nuts, and that's what I was doing to get the. That's what I had to do to get the like radish or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. So it's cool. I'm almost there, but I'm also like I'm really close to getting enough Halloween stuff so I can get Jack. Well, I got the Halloween one. I already threw a party and got all the Disney characters in their Halloween costumes. But now I'm doing the Nightmare Before Christmas stuff so I can get Jack Skellington to come.
Man, I got to do all that.
Oh, dude, there's so much good Halloween stuff right now. Got to get in. There's lots of free, like they do the free downloads every month, so there's a lot of new Halloween stuff you can get.
Man, yeah.
Good. Then Legend of Zelda again with the kiddos. We're working on completing our statue collection, our little figurine collection, and once we finish that, we're moving on to the final battle. So pretty cool. We've been having a lot of fun with that game still.
Awesome.
And I've been playing Peggle. And I've also actually been helped. Luke got the Lego movie game for
Oh
his
yeah, how's that?
3DS. And it's really, really cool. And he's like, it's amazing. He's gone through like 3/4 of the game on his own. But every once in a while he gets to like a tough part, so I'll help him with that too. But it's incredible. Like he just plays through it. And then Audrey's been playing her Nintendogs game, and it's insane. Like I don't know, it just hit this like critical mass where all of a sudden my kids can like play video games, and it's really weird and really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I recommend it if you have kids. Play video games with them. It's a good excuse. So yeah, that's been my video game week.
Awesome.
So
Well, I think we've talked about everything.
yeah, I think so. It's good. It's a good deal for a Sunday night.
Yeah.
And this weekend, I think we'll be doing it Friday night. Depending on where we wind up doing it, it'll either be in person or whatever. But we'll be back on Friday night again, so
So
should be
stay
good.
tuned for that.
So, yeah, if you guys like to hang out live, we'll be back to a more regular schedule again. Hopefully so.
Is there ever really a regular?
There never really is. But
I guess
Fridays
that's
seem
what
to
we
be the
need to
most
do to
successful.
actually have a truly successful podcast, is to have a regular schedule.
Yeah, well, okay, the release schedule is fairly regular, though. We get once a week.
Kind of. Yeah, once a week, but you're not quite sure when or what time.
Exactly what day it's going to drop. Well,
Whatever. It's free.
that's right. That's right. It's free, and it's more consistent than it was once upon a time.
We're still
It's
doing
been
them every
better.
week. I mean, we're in episode 139. This is 139.
That's awesome. 139.
We need a name for this week's episode.
This week's episode, Sunday Night Smackdown,
What?
because it's Sunday night and we talked about wrestling some.
All right, done.
There you go. That's great. It's a great name. Yeah.
All right.
So we're countdown to 2 weeks to the great Brendo move.
Yeah, but that's just like the first move of two.
All right. Well, the first great Brendo move,
The move out, then we have the
the
move
move out.
in.
Yeah, and then we'll begin the hotel saga. You can report each week from where you're staying at. I'm very excited for this.
I don't know. I just hope I can get all this move. Like,
Yeah.
what happens if I can't get it? Like, I don't know. What if I can't figure this out? And then, like, the 19th comes, they're like, you're not out of your apartment. I'm like, ugh.
Well, like, have you given notice already?
Oh, yeah, that's all done.
Oh, yeah. Well, you have to now.
I don't, it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Well, it'll be cool. You've got a couple weeks. You'll figure it out. You got your cheap hotel lined up.
Yeah.
It'll be cool.
Homeless, homeless Brendo adventures.
Yeah. You'll have it easy. You won't even have a kid you have to drag around all the hotels.
That's what I don't know. I don't know how you did it, man. I don't know how you do it.
Oh man. I'll tell you, it was not. It was very stressful at times. I used to think of
How do
like
you
hotels
entertain a
as
kid
always.
all day?
Well, I mean that you have to be creative. Because for one, if you want them to clean your room, you got to like get out for a little bit. So you can't just
Yeah.
like stay in the room all day. So we went to a lot of parks and hung out and did a lot of. We went to a lot of like dollar movies when it was like when she was young enough that I could take her to like a kid movie and the dollar movie and she'd sleep through it. And I don't know, you just have to get creative.
Yeah.
A lot of naps in Target parking lots. So, but yeah, you'll have
My
it
other
easy.
question that I was thinking about today, what happens when, like, let's say Janelle's at work or gone and like you're just exhausted, but like you can't take a nap? What do you
Well,
do?
I mean, like, let's say these
Are you ever
days.
like, hey kids, we're gonna take a nap now?
Well, okay. I mean, there's different stages of life. Like nowadays, if I really needed to take a nap, I could get them going on something. I could take a nap, like, because they can come and get me if there's a problem, and I'm right there, and I know they'll be relatively safe. But when they're younger, yeah, I mean, you have to, I mean, you can usually get them to take a nap, but you have to kind of coordinate that because you can't just have a 2-year-old, running around doing their own thing in the house. So
I guess
it's
that's one of the
tough.
blessings as they get older and more autonomous, then you have more
Yeah,
autonomy.
because now they can just sit and like read books or watch a show or do artwork or whatever. And I mean, I can easily have them do that and get a half an hour quick cat nap in if I need to. So
I just
not
think
that I
it'd
have
be
to do it
so
that often, but
that's just your time is not your own, and that's I
yeah,
think the biggest hang up for me on the whole kid thing.
yeah, it's different, but it's also super fun. I mean, I have like playmates to like do fun stuff with and read books with, and I mean, it's not all always something that I would choose to do on my own, but it's really fun to play. I mean, I probably wouldn't in my own free time if I was alone play Shoots and Ladders or Candyland or Hungry Hungry Hippos, but it's really fun to play that stuff with them. Like I used to love that as a kid, so it's cool to get to do stuff like that again. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not that bad, but it's definitely. I mean, if you really want to be involved with your kids, it's definitely more of a time commitment than not. So, you know, don't enter into it lightly, I guess, if you can help it. So, yeah, I haven't suffered too much. I still get to record podcasts and stuff.
Cool. So have
Yeah.
you gotten to a point where like are you at like when you tell the kids to go to bed, they don't want to go to bed? Like has that happened?
Um, kind of, but it's not too bad. Like, because they just know that that's what we do. Like, there's no arguing. We've established very clearly throughout their childhood that when it's time to go to bed, they have to go to bed. So,
Yeah, but at
I
some
mean,
point there's going to be some rebellion, I
there
guess.
will be more rebellion, I'm sure. And sometimes they're like, "Oh, we don't want to go to bed yet," and we're like, "Well, it's time," and you're doing it, and they just know that's happening. So, but yeah, I know it'll get tougher, but it's not so bad for now. They do their bargaining thing though, where they'll be like, "Oh,
Well, they are
you're gonna
Vecchios.
read me a
They
story? I
learn
mean, I
from
really want to.
they learn
Don't you
from
want to
their
read to
dad.
me?" Oh yeah, they totally do.
Or like
And
the
then
whole like, I'll go to bed if I can have a show in bed. Like all this
yeah. Well, and
like
then can I have a hug? And then I need a drink of water. Oh, you didn't tuck me in right. Oh, can you get the stuffed animal down for me? Like, if I let them, they could keep coming up with stuff for an hour, but eventually they do know on a school night that there are no shows in bed. Like, that's outright just a
Mhm.
done deal. So, because otherwise they'll just be up all night. If you put a show on for them, they could stay up indefinitely. So, yeah, they learn from the best. Oh, one more thing.
Well, yeah, because you're the worst with me. Like, oh, like you're like, oh, do you want to go? You can go to bed, or
Yeah,
there's
well,
one more episode
they,
after one more after this, and you'll do
yeah.
things like that.
Starting now. This will be the last one.
And
Yeah.
you've managed to get me to like stay over like crazy late in my original intentions,
Yep.
or stay up when I
Yep.
needed to go to bed, or I mean, in college it was the worst. Like I'd be like, I gotta study for this, and then I'd end up being in your room for like 6 hours watching some dumb thing.
Yep. I do have a particular skill. I still do. I do it to my brothers too. Like I said, I got Matthew to stay over the other night until he fell asleep watching the show with me. So I still got it. But it's fun. It's not like I'm like trying to make you work for me or something. I just want you to relax. If I could get paid to help people just kind of chill out and not stress about stuff so much, come on, just relax. It's fun. Will someone pay me to do that?
You could be a relaxed coach.
Yeah, relax. You just gotta, yeah, come on. Take a vacation. Take a break. It'll get done later. Don't worry about it. Let's watch a show. Let's play a game. If someone wants to pay me to do that, I would be happy to do that. So let me know.
Well, there you go. It's
Yeah,
out there.
there we go.
So you can check out all of our stuff, radiobrendo.com. Go to benviewnetwork.com for all the podcasts. Lots of podcasty goodness. Popsicles. The other podcast that I do. Also, Matt and Brendo's Wrestling Show. We're recording a new episode of that soon.
Good.
And popvoxmusic.com. Stuff going on there.
Very much so.
braxcomics.com.
Less stuff actively going
Maybe
on
we should
there.
get that going.
I know.
Oh no, me. See, we're not doing. This is why we're not getting panels, Phil.
I know. This is the part of the show I'm always scared of when you're gonna get mad at me.
I'm not mad at you. This is the thing that we do together
I
that we should
know.
enjoy doing and should be
I
doing.
do. I do.
We need to hit that 500 strips, man.
I know.
So close.
I need
Should have
to.
been there already.
We should have been there already. Yes, we should have. But I'll get it. I think I'm on it. I think I'm on it for this week.
You say that every week.
Okay.
We already have the story planned out too. Like that's the thing.
Tell
Well,
everyone what happens in the story, and then they'll encourage me and they'll want to hear it.
Well, right now, Manny and Brax have discovered that the Super Bowl halftime show has become pay to play,
Which is true.
and they're gonna try and get MRB to play the Super Bowl. They're gonna come up with some scheme.
And then they find
Try
out
it.
that who's in charge, who's the gatekeeper.
Well, of course, a bot's in charge.
The bot's the charge. Yeah, the bot's in charge. I know. That's good. That's good stuff. All right. That'll encourage me. It's fresh in my mind.
There you go. So that's happening. And anything else, Phil?
All that stuff you said is good. Also, what's the new Adam Wells one? I forgot now.
Oh, Beyond the Shield.
Beyond the Shield, yes.
Beyond the Shield podcast. Which Agents of Shield? Have you been watching it, Phil? It's so good.
No.
See, you're not caught up. That's
Not
why.
caught up,
You
yeah.
need to
So
catch up. That's why you need to
need
get
to catch up.
Hulu
Hulu Plus, yeah. See.
and you need to catch up, and then you need to watch the new episodes because they're awesome. It's been really good. It's really good season.
Well, I have a free month, so I'll catch up then, and then I can really catch up. That'll be
Cool.
good. Sweet. Yeah, I think that's good.
It's good.
lots of good stuff on the horizon. So keep your ears peeled. Can you keep your ears peeled?
What does that mean?
Well, like listen for you coming out and
How do
living
you
in
peel
Yucaipa.
your ears? Like peel them back?
Yeah, I don't know.
What is eyes peeled? What
I
does
don't know what
that
does that
mean?
mean either. I mean, I guess like your eyelids not over them, but it's still a weird way to say it.
English is weird. We have a lot of
Yeah, it
weird.
is. Well, keep your ears peeled.
Keep them peeled.
Keep them peeled. Whatever. You should keep them peeled anyway. That's just gross.
No, you want to keep them unpeeled because peeling your ears is gross.
Well, what's on there though? Like, what are you keeping on your ears?
What are you
Something's gross.
peeling? Peeling the skin off your ears?
No,
Like when you get a
I don't know.
sunburn?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe that's what it is.
Keep them peeled?
Keep them peeled. Don't have
But
all
that's
that like
bad.
dead, dry skin hanging all over them.
But if they're peeling all the time, you probably have skin cancer.
That's true. How about just wear sunscreen? That's
I
better
don't like
advice.
wearing sunscreen.
Yeah, but you know the consequences.
I do, but then I don't. What is? I can't. I don't know. They need to come up with better things because sunscreen is just. I don't like it. It's just
Yeah.
gross.
When they make good, healthy food that tastes better than junk food and sunscreen that feels better
Doesn't
than
feel like
having
you're
grease
just
rub all over
globbing
you.
all that greasy all over you. And the spray stuff doesn't. I mean, the spray stuff led to like the biggest disaster I've ever had.
Yeah. Although I feel like they've gotten better with the spray stuff,
Okay.
especially if you like rub it in.
You mean you have to rub it now?
Well, yeah, you can't just spray. That's why you had like
I just
spray patterns sunburn in your back. You could see exactly where it sprayed,
on my legs. Oh my
and
god.
like one big handprint on your stomach or
That was the
something.
most painful. I have a permanent sock tan.
Yep,
Like that's not right. That
it's not
shouldn't
going
be
away.
there. It's not
You
like
have no
normal.
matter what you do, you've got permasock tan.
It's just so weird. Like whenever I show people, I'm like, "Yep, see that? That's been there forever."
It all comes back to that one day at the beach.
That probably That's probably some kind of cancer. Or
It's
something.
probably bad. At least we'll know we had a good time going to the movies afterwards.
Go to the doctor. Should you have a permanent sack tan?
Sack tan. That's a different problem altogether.
Sock tan. But
Yeah.
like, what? I don't understand. Like scientifically, like why? Like my skin
Why
just
it's not
refuses
going away?
It's not going away.
You just got your pigment in your skin was like, yeah, and then just never got over it.
I guess I need to like permanently tan the rest of my feet.
I guess I don't know, or just wear socks. Then no
I
one will
wear
ever know
socks.
because you're not allowed to wear flip flops, so it shouldn't be a problem.
It's true.
If you're wearing flip flops, then you've got other problems, like how you're gonna die falling on wet cement
And just general walking in
and
general.
just general walking anywhere. So yes, that shouldn't be a problem for you. And
All
we're
right.
beyond impressing people on the beach at this point. So
Yeah. Well, I think we've hit that time where now we're just babbling on and on.
that's an important time of the show. That's one of our segments. Ramble on at the end,
I
right?
guess that is an official radio BrendoMan
We should just put it on the thing there.
So ramble on and on for a
Ramble
while,
on
go on
through it.
some tangents, and then
Tangent. Oh, did you see what you did there? Tangent.
wow.
Yeah. Tonight we really went on a tangent.
You know what we need to do
All right.
next time?
What?
A Nintendo Power. We haven't done that in a while.
Yes, we do. We have not done that in a little while.
All right.
All right. Next time is the return of Nintendo Power.
Well, you should bring it if you end up coming down here.
Yeah, so we wind up being there. I'll try to remember to bring
And
it.
if it's which means you won't.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't want to like commit to anything that I won't be able to deliver on, but I'll do my best.
All right.
All right.
So for Radio BrendoMan, I'm Brendan Creasy.
And I'm Phil Vecchio.
Have a good one, everybody. It's a good
Yep.
episode.
Yeah. Oh, I think I saw this, but did you see I uploaded the commentary thing?
Yeah, I grabbed it.
Okay,
so
I
it's
thought
out
so.
of there.
Good. I thought I saw that you had to make sure.
I just slept for
Saving.
3 hours, so now I'm not tired. Because I knew we might go late, so I needed,
Yeah. And this gets you to bed at like a decent hour.
Yeah, but now I can't go to bed, so I'm gonna have to
Okay.
watch a show probably. Watch a
30.
Bob's Burgers.
Sounds good. Yeah, I always have to do at least a little something to. I can't just fall asleep immediately after talking for 2 hours.
Yeah, get wind down.
Yeah. Mine will probably be What's My Line tonight, I think. Telling you, I have put away a lot of episodes. There's a lot of years of that show too, so they're all on YouTube.
Who put him on YouTube?
There's a guy whose username is What's My Line, who's like uploaded them all, and not just uploaded them all, but they're all in chronological order with notes and historical little tidbits about it.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing. If you're obsessed with that show, it's a good time to be so.
I should check it out. I've been watching more stuff on YouTube now that I have my Chromecast.
Oh, that's good.
Because you can beam anything to your TV.
Right.
It's pretty great.
I used this morning. I did like a little guest like sub thing for a friend at their church for their youth group, and they had an Apple TV.
Oh yeah.
And we did all my everything all through Apple TV. Did like a slideshow, and we played games and stuff all through it. It's kind of cool.
Cool.
And all came in and like ran it all.
I'm gonna stop the broadcast.
Oh yes.
So because you said you were gonna tell me something.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I just farted.
That's a good way to end it.
Fart.
Word fart.
Fart.
Word fart.
All right, stopping.